Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's Thursday. It's drizzly. I'm tired. Joe's here. I'm Titus. Let's go.
Oh my gosh, such a quick intro.
Yeah.
I definitely appreciated that so much. I don't know if I had a full intro in me today.
I'm a little low energy. Not trying to be low energy, but work has been stressful as hell. It doesn't help that we haven't had sunshine in a week.
That's bad. It's been cloudy and rainy.
It's bad.
Oh god. Go to the bar.
Right. We gotta go see. We gotta go here first. Let's go see how much we gotta make first.
Technically, Technically speaking, I think we don't have to go to the bar because we accidentally stumbled onto that fact, which I did not know.
Yeah, I didn't know you could do it.
But whatever. God, I love the Malamart. I love the Malamart so fucking much. It's the best part of this game. I don't even think I'm exaggerating.
It's so good. It's so damn good. All right. Anyway, we're gonna see how much we got. Yeah, it's been really raining here, and it's just been drizzly and gross. And it is 508. You're right. Holy shit. Okay. Call me stupid. That's fine. And work has just been blah. Absolutely just blah. And so
I gotcha.
Low energy, but we trying.
Yeah,
we trying. So short, sweet intro to the point. Gotta play more of this game. This game's so fun.
It is so good. So good. Which also, the other good game, I've been having so much fun with Hollow Knight. It's been such a blast.
Can we talk about the best game that's ever been made, though? And Peglin?
Oh my god.
We're gonna talk about it. It's so good.
I mean, I want to play it.
It's free demo. Just try it. Just try it. It's fun.
I know. It's funny. I saw it on flipping YouTube today because a channel that I watched previously for a Xenoblade Let's Play. They're playing Peglin right now.
It is so fun. My chat turned me on to it, and I spent a while playing it yesterday, or the day before that. And then yesterday, we usually have like a little gaming thing with a bunch of friends. We just spent two plus hours me streaming on Discord to them playing Peglin and had a blast. It's
sorry, yeah, no, it does look really fun. I see no reason why it shouldn't be incredibly fun.
It's so fun. It's so simple. And there's some people who are like, I can't justify spending $20 on this. It's like, well, number one, it's $18 right now. It's on sale, so suck it. And number two, yes, it's great. It's so good. Like, who cares? Support them. They did a great job. The game is fun. It's a roguelike. Yeah. It's an early access. Come on.
I do wish, as somebody who mostly plays games on the couch, I do wish it was on... It's early access Steam only. It's not on anything else.
Yeah, but if it does well enough, it could absolutely easily be put on the Switch.
It feels to me like Slay the Spire insofar as it's like such a simple formula, simple graphical style. It's meant to it's definitely one where just the gameplay carries everything, which is like the graphics are they're not bad, but they're also like nothing to write home about. They're fitting.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But yeah, it definitely feels like something where like they totally could port it around. I don't know if I would buy it twice. I mean, maybe, who knows? Maybe it's that much fun.
I mean, if you could be like PS4 where they give away Slay the Spire on PS Plus, which is great.
Yeah, I played the shit out of Slay the Spire.
I like Slay the Spire.
I never got. I don't know if I ever beat it after it hit like its 1.0 full release. I just don't know.
We have a friend who just beat the whole thing. Like, beat the Ascended 20 or whatever it is.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Which is crazy. Who? Max.
Oh, wow. I didn't know he was still playing, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. He beat the whole thing. You have a couple too many eyelashes on the bottom of your eye there, girl.
I think they were going for a goth look.
I think, but they...
I don't know. I don't think they pulled... I like her overall. I like her armor a lot, actually. I think her outfit's really cool. I think her hair is interesting. But yeah, it's like they were trying to go for eyeshadow, and they It's like they forgot her eyebrows, or they forgot something about it that just
Yeah, she has like no
didn't complete
eyebrows
the
at
look.
all now that you say something.
Yeah, it's missing something that
weird.
completes the look.
Well, so this man's name is Shad. What a terrible name.
Dude, Shad is he's awesome. He's so sweet. Also, his jacket is sick. Let's be honest. His like purple short sleeve. I have to imagine it's denim, right? Like purple jean jacket. Hell yeah.
Kind of has to be like
With
my
the
high
popped
collared,
collar?
like high collared purple jean jacket. Look at this high roller.
And the fucking like half bow tie, half bolo tie. The bolo tie.
Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
I wore a bolo tie once. It was to my granddad's funeral. He was a bolo tie man.
This got
so it made sense.
That got sad.
Oh, whatever. It was years ago. Funerals are for the living, not for the dead.
It's true. All right. We're gonna go. We already know where the guy is, luckily, so that's
yeah.
nice.
You can warp there pretty easily.
Oh yeah, we can warp now.
Technically speaking, and the next phase of the game will involve this. If you'll be coming to and from the bar, you can always check the map, and the map will put a flag and show you exactly where you go.
Gotta go here. Gotta go here. Anyway, yeah, Peglin is a wonderful game. It's just so simple and fun. You can sit down for like 20-30 minutes and play it real quick, and it's just you need to get like, and it can be really rage-inducing or very cool, like what you pull off. So it's very.
That's
fun.
why that's the opposite problem I have with Hollow Knight. I played for like 3.5 hours last night, and I was like, I don't want to go to bed. I'm not done doing stuff yet.
Oh, I was like, I played
I
it.
need to do.
I played it 2 hours straight without stopping.
There
are definitely times where you can just sit down and play it.
I spent like two play sessions not making a ton of progress. Like making okay progress. I was doing things, but like no
not a
major,
ton of things.
Yeah, just not. It was all like lots of little loose ends.
I do need to give that game another shot. I've heard it's so good.
And the honest answer is, by the way, there was a bomb cave behind you. If you want to just do it real fast.
I did see it.
Yeah, do it. Do it. You haven't done one yet in this game.
Yeah, we go do one real quick.
There's plenty in Hyrule Field. Like basically every Hyrule Field section will have at least one or two. But no, last night though, I finally I was like, oh, I see what I'm forgetting. I see the thing that I've been missing on the map. Because like usually your progress is going to be oriented around, oh, what doors have I not gone in yet, and that kind of thing. And last night I finally found the thing that I just didn't realize was there. I just didn't see it first, and then I went and did it. I was like, oh, and I unlocked a whole new region, which of course contained a ton of stuff and new charms and new everything in between. So, yeah, it was a really good time. I really enjoyed it, and I started Kirby. Man, Kirby's so good.
I mean,
it is.
Yeah, it's the other one, the Friends one. I can't remember what the hell it's called.
Kirby Star Allies.
Yes, that one.
Maybe.
It's a really cute, fun game. It's very enjoyable, but it definitely is more. I mean, you got to expect it is Kirby. It's going to be more kid game or kid oriented. So make sure you go into it knowing that that's going to be what you're going to get.
Yeah, absolutely. It is, in one sense, it is like the transition that Mario had from like Galaxy to Odyssey, where it opens up a ton, or even like Pokemon to like Sword and Shield and Arceus and stuff, where they're fully going in. They're like 3D. We're going all in.
Talk about another game I need to finish.
Like on what you should. It's really, really good, and I don't want to spoil any of the ending stuff because it's really good. Like there's legit spoilers you need to watch out for. But at the same time, it is also kind of not that, on the grounds that it is, of course, like very easy and clearly a kid's game.
Yeah, but I mean,
which is fine.
Odyssey did some good stuff.
Oh, you have a bottle. You could. Oh, I think you missed it. I don't think you were fast enough.
Odyssey does a thing where it is easy in a kid's game, and then it does like the fucking moon ones or whatever that are just miserable.
There's some really hard content in Odyssey, and honestly, some of the stuff in Kirby, like obviously I beat a level. I haven't game overed yet. I haven't died at all. But there's little challenge sections and challenge modes, basically what they do is for every power, including every upgraded power, as far as I can tell, there are one or more little timed challenges, and beating them is not hard, and technically I think you only need to beat them, but you get a little bonus and a check mark if you do it within a certain amount of time. And so I obviously am trying to get all of those within the time, and some of them take me like a solid few minutes to like actually get, you know, within the target time, because the target time often requires sort of near perfection to achieve.
The thing I know is, like, when I play a Kirby game is I know exactly what to expect, but I still have a great time.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like, nothing is out of the blue. We tried the co-op. The co-op was pretty fun. It made some sections a little awkward, but like mostly it was just fun. And the music is 10 out of 10. It's so good. And then yeah, like, and the other thing too is like every level has Waddle Dees, right, to save, and some of the Waddle Dees are just hidden in the level. You just find them and that's it. But in some of them, you are rewarded at the end of the level if you completed a certain challenge. A challenge might be finding a certain secret hidden area, or there was one that was like, you know, find all 3 donuts hidden throughout the level or whatever, right? But when you first play the level the first time, those objectives are hidden from you. And then every time you beat a level, it will reveal any one uncompleted objective. Basically meaning you have a good incentive to like really explore, but also it's totally okay if you miss it because the levels aren't that long. You can replay them. And some of them were tough. Like the first one of them, the boss counts as his own level. The bosses do. And the first boss, one of them was like, clear the boss without taking damage. And like, I did it, but I had to not do any other challenges, and I had to really concentrate the whole time to make sure I didn't get hit. The second boss we did in co-op, and we discovered that taking no damage on the boss, it doesn't count if the second player takes damage.
Oh, that's a nice little cheese.
Yeah, so he took damage at one point. My husband did. I did a little bit of damage, but I mostly just dodged, and then he did all the work. Because Bandana D gets a spear, he doesn't need a power-up or anything, which is fun. And the second boss also had, one of the challenges was also beat the boss without any power-up at all, which was also interesting. I just didn't expect that.
So you should be at base Kirby?
Yeah, so all the bosses will throw down little stars.
Yeah. All of them do like something you can suck up and shoot, right?
Yeah, because if you can lose your power in the fight, and then you don't get it. So yeah, one of them is go in without a power and beat the whole fight without it, which was a fun little challenge I didn't expect. Because the first boss had one that was like, you know, the level will provide you with a power, with several powers at the start of the level for a boss and you can pick anyone you want. And the first boss was like, one of those powers was the challenge. Use that one to beat the boss. But yeah, the second one was just, don't use one. So, that was fun. But yeah, no, it's been outstanding. It's been so much fun. And it's been a great change. Kirby, really, really easy. Hollow Knight, not that.
Right, and we played Horizon Forbidden West on hard.
Which is hard, yeah.
So
I played on very hard, I think.
No, I don't think you didn't. I do not think you did.
I'm pretty sure I did. I think I played it one below the highest.
Which is hard.
Oh, do they not have the second game or the first game?
You don't unlock the high one until you beat the game one time.
Maybe that's what it is. I thought I did. Maybe it was just hard.
Yeah, because I did hard as well. I'm playing it on hard.
I know I definitely had a time with some of this stuff. I will say, Hollow Knight, I had definitely heard described as being
Souls-like.
Really hard.
Yeah.
It's hard, but like not that bad. I'm not gonna say it's easy. It's definitely.
I mean, it's like a Metroidvania type game, so they are difficult.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. If that's what a Souls game is, then I could probably handle a Souls game. But I don't think that's actually true. I think it's
no, no. Souls games suck.
Yeah, I'm at a point now where I have enough upgrades and things where I can mostly I've beat bosses on either the first or second try at this point. I am like genuinely pretty good at video games. Like I just, based on my gaming habits, you wouldn't necessarily believe that. Oh, he plays Mario and Pokemon and Zelda. He's not a good gamer. I'm pretty good. I'm not like an expert or anything, but I'm pretty good. I know what I'm doing.
Got hand-eye coordination. It's fine.
And I'm like, you know, I don't struggle with any particular genre, to my knowledge.
Well, there we go. Now I have a
I kind of want to play at some point, not urgently. I kind of want to replay Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I've played on the hardest difficulty, but I did it on New Game Plus, which gives you a lot of bells and whistles, and so it's actually not that difficult. I would kind of like to play Three Houses on the hardest difficulty with no not in New Game Plus as a fresh file, because I don't know if I could do that, or certainly I don't know if I could save everybody, which is my usual goal.
I need to finish. I'm getting close to finishing, or starting to really progress in the story.
On Forbidden West?
In Forbidden West.
I mean, you're more than halfway through the story.
I'm getting to a point where I don't have very many other things to do besides the collectathon stuff.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I can always revisit that after I have a bit of a break from it.
Like I said, do the next couple story missions, and then not long after that, I will say this: you will get something that will make some of the elements of wandering around the map easier and more tolerable, which will help. I think you need to go the other way. I think there's a path. I'm
just kind of going everything.
Well, I think you skipped the short path. That's like a dead end, basically. That might have stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I probably did, to be honest.
I think you've gotten all the other ones, but I think you missed one. Basically,
this one right in front of me.
Yeah, south. Yeah, I would say you can very comfortably do. I'm trying to remember exactly where you are. I think you could do like the next 2 story missions, and you're not going to get locked into rails. You're not going to get anything too crazy. You should be able to just.
I could also just go try the last.
You also can continue playing after you beat the story, and it's not even a huge deal. So.
I could go beat the last cauldron and get my ass handed to me.
It's actually, honestly, that cauldron I did, it was like my second cauldron. It's not that bad.
The one I just did was a Slitherfang, and that one kind of sucked.
In my opinion, the thing you are fighting is not as bad, that you will fight at the end of it is not as bad as Slitherfangs. Slitherfangs, in my opinion, are one of the hardest.
Slitherfangs are difficult. They're fast.
You still have not fought one kind of machine.
I fought a Dreadwing.
You fought the Dreadwing. You haven't.
There's another thing? I've already forgotten what it is.
I've told you the name, the Slaughter Spine.
Oh yeah, I haven't fought that.
You have not, and I will tell you, it's not the boss of the last cauldron.
You,
I think, have access to them now. I think you can go find one. You just haven't. They're not all over the place. They are a trip the first time you fight one. They are easy to learn. Unlike the Thunderjaws, which can fuck you up even when you know what you're doing.
I didn't really have that much problem with the Dreadwing.
The Dreadwing is just
scary, but like it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, they're hard to farm because the fangs are a little annoying to deal with, and they can see you coming. You can't sneak up on them because they pulse. The one place you can find them in the overworld, like every 20 seconds, they will send out a pulse, and if you're anywhere in that pulse, they just immediately know where you are.
Solid.
So sneaking up on them, you have to wait for the pulse, dash in kind of close, and immediately, if you're trying to like shoot off the fangs or anything like that, you have to do it like immediately. Otherwise, you'll miss it.
I gotta say, Stormbirds are also a problem in that game.
I had a lot of trouble with them, but then I had to farm a bunch of them.
And not as bad.
I learned them a little bit. Knowing how to deal with the cannon helps.
Yeah.
And also, they are weak to the element that I use the most, which is plasma.
I don't use plasma that much. I find it not as good.
The plasma bolt blaster, basically I would shoot the cannon off, and the moment you detach the cannon, they immediately fall down to the ground. And so oh, you missed a few paths. Or no, this is new. I would knock off the cannon, which puts them on the ground, and then I would immediately do the art with the bolt blaster that shoots a whole clip at them, which with the plasma is a guaranteed, because they're on the ground and can't dodge, it's a guaranteed maxed out plasma gauge, so it does the full damage. Right, because plasma you have to fill up the... So you guaranteed you will max that gauge out, so you do a ton of damage just shooting them, and then you do a ton more damage with the plasma thing. And then you really only have to knock them down like one more time, and then they're a gimme. But
do I just use the yellow chew to get more?
It is
oil?
lantern oil. Yes, that's what it is.
I just use it and it'll fill it up.
If you are holding both and you use the bottle, you will fill the lantern. But you also don't need to worry about it right now, because it completely refills it. So, I mean, I guess at the same time, there's more on the ground, so I guess you're right. I think you also, any of the times it says scoop, if it's lantern oil, you can scoop the lantern itself.
Oh, that's actually good to know. Okay.
It is. In the event, you should be able to get another bottle at some point soon. I have a whole list of like little odds and ends to get, and I don't actually think I noted. Yeah,
we have two bottles right now, so
I don't know where the other ones are. Let me look that up real fast.
We're okay. 2 bottles pretty good.
Yeah, oh, I know, but like I'm curious where you get them all. You buy one, or you're given one. You buy that one, yes.
Treasure chest stamp.
Wait, did we get the fishing hole one?
Yep, we got it.
Oh, well then we missed another one.
True, 3 bottles would be even better than 2 bottles. I would agree. Oh my god!
I know what it is. So you know how in Ordon Village there was the lady with the cat?
Oh god.
And you have to bring the cat a fish?
Yeah.
If you do that voluntarily a second time, you get a bottle of milk.
Oh, I can just do it?
Yeah, you just have to go catch a fish on your own. But you have to catch the fish by where the cat is standing. And then the cat will run off, and then if you go over to the shop, she will give you a bottle filled with milk that time.
Gotcha, okay.
That's just an easy little one. And then the last one, you should get on your own.
Okay.
You should stumble onto that one without me telling you anything.
Oh, right, video gaming. So yeah, I would like to do Forbidden West and then get to a point where I can mix in like some of these other more bite-sized action games and things that are a little bit just easier to digest than having to commit a ton of time to a game, because
you can play a game and
Monster Hunter is coming out.
Yep. I know I've mentioned this game before. Genuinely, Hyper Light Drifter, not that long of a game. And it is also a fun action game.
I'm gonna play Peglin. I'm gonna play Dead Cells for a little bit. I want to play Hollow Knight, but apparently it's a lot longer than.
I don't know how many hours I've put in.
Because I tried Hollow Knight and I was just like, it's and everyone's like, no, it's really good. I was like, okay, it's probably me. I should probably give it another shot.
It is definitely, if you're waiting for the game to tell you where to go, they're never going to tell you where to go ever. And
that's what I've heard. And I like and dislike games like that. It really kind of depends.
I like a strong narrative, and this game does not have that.
I don't always have to be told where I need to go, but sometimes it's nice at the same time, because then you get the paralysis by choice.
Yeah, what I have found is, like, from the standpoint of the exploring and stuff, it literally is just find all the open doors, and then if the doors. If you see an open door on your map that you haven't been through, you can reference that at any point in time, and you just go to that door whenever you decide to go through it, and you can. I wish that the map was a little bit better overall.
Because we had a friend play it, and they said, like, yeah, the no direction thing kind of turned them off of it, because it's like, you don't know where to go, and if you forget something somewhere, you have to remember that thing is at that place, and it's like...
And that's why I fully, without shame, will intend to, if, for example, you can rescue grubs, if I get to the point where I have explored as much as I can, and I don't know where to go find them, and I probably just missed one somewhere, I'm just gonna look it up. I'm not even gonna like wait. I'm just gonna look it up.
And when it comes to games like that, where it's like, yeah, you have like, there's no good way to know about it. I'll be like, I'm just gonna Google it. I don't really care that much. I'm not spoiling a narrative. I'm just finding a collectible that's genuinely inconvenient to find.
All, and it would take me way longer than I have time to find them all. And yeah, that's why, for example, a story event happened in the game where I was like, oh, that's really funny. I bet I can get blah, blah, blah back if I just explore, but I want it back now, so I'm just going to look it up.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's also what I do with all of the Xenoblade games, or the Xenoblade, all of them. Anytime where it required you to get a specific part or item or whatever, and I don't know where it is, and it's for a side quest, I'm just looking it up. I'm just not going to waste time. And it does risk spoilers, so I will hold off on it, and I will be as careful as I can. But, like, I'm just gonna do my best, and...
There's a point nowadays in JRPGs, I will Google certain items to see if I will need them later on, because, like, I'll look at like your starting sword or whatever to make sure I don't need it for material for the final.
Right.
I do that shit all the time. Because I'm like, I'm not getting burned by this shit and then have to play it again. No, I'm doing it this way.
Yep.
Damn games.
Yeah. Yep. Fully agree. When it comes to tedious stuff like that, I respect the idea that, especially for younger gamers that maybe don't have the like experience and the knowledge to go look that stuff up, or the desire to, it gives them such a huge world to explore and go find and try and try and try. That's awesome for them. But
I've done it.
Not the experience. You're right. I've done that.
I've done that. I don't have the fucking time anymore.
I don't need to.
Okay, we're getting some story.
We've got some story now.
Eventually, most came to call the Twilight Realm, from none of them could return to the world of light. They were forever doomed to live in twilight, fitting the half-light of dusk, mere shadows of Hyrule. In the twilight. In the middle of the night. This is the history of the Tweely. What an original name.
I say Twilight?
I guess Twilight. Twilight's probably better, to be honest. Because Twilight. Yeah, it's probably better.
Yeah.
I kind of going Star Wars with it.
Yeah.
That's where my brain immediately went. It was like, oh, a Twi'lek. Oh.
Yeah.
That's not right. Twilight probably makes more sense. Okay. As it has been passed down from our ancestors. Do you now understand what I am? Are you a Twilight? I'm a descendant of the tribe that was banished to the Twilight Realm with your little fang. Little fang. There's fan art of her.
Oh god, there's fan art of her.
Until Zant took control of the Twilight Realm and transformed all of the Twilight into Shadow Beasts. Oh, so these are the Twilight. The Shadow Beast guys. Well, that's not good.
Indeed.
You have to be Ganon. I mean, come on. You're just calling yourself Zant. It's clear to me now they somehow gained a great power previously unknown to our tribe. I think he can now get the Twilight Realm his power. Okay. You know, take cleaning stuff to my screen. There's another tale told by my people. Though the goddess forbade us to return to the world of light, they left one link between the light and the darkness. They left a link. My name's Titus, idiot. Something called the Mirror of Twilight was passed to the protectors of Hyrule. It's our only path to the Twilight Realm. We must go there. Or we must get there, sorry. You'll come with me, won't you? I don't really have a choice. You killed Princess Zelda.
Wow, I think Midna would very much be hurt by you saying that she did that. I think she would be very upset that you said that.
But she did.
Also, Gerudo music time. Turn it up.
No, because it'll be loud as hell.
I know, but listen, just...
I don't hear anything. We're in a desert. There's gonna be something coming after me. What is that thing? Stabbed you. Oh my god, is there a bunch of these guys? They just don't stop coming. Get out of here. Little mini doom worm things. Alright, I'm just gonna leave it behind. Can I get up there? You alright there, kid? Are you dying?
Alcohol went down the wrong pipe.
Nice
which
job.
is its own problem. And it brought back the hiccups I had earlier.
Oh no! Oh, that's entertainment. That's what we call content. Get away from me, you stupid bug. These things really don't stop spawning, huh? That's cool. That's cool. Okay, well that's fun. At least they only hurt like a quarter of my health. Just have Jade come and scare you. Just come in and say boo. God, that was like an insane physical reaction to some... That looked like it hurt.
I am personally convinced that there's some quirk of my anatomy that makes me more prone to hiccups.
I get hiccups a lot
Because
too.
when I get them frequently, bug.
I get them a lot as well.
And I get them, like, have you ever just, like, woken up and you're like, stretch, yawn, hiccup? Like, that's
Yeah.
what happens to me sometimes.
I get them a lot. A lot.
By the way, there should be a second bug somewhere in the desert. I believe there's just, like, 2 in the desert.
Well, if we find it, we'll find it.
Yeah, no, they glow at night, time passes here, so... Yeah, okay, I'm feeling better, I don't have hiccups.
Thank God, you're not dying. That's good.
No.
What a shame that would be.
The alcohol I'm drinking tonight is very... I should be drinking a margarita or something, but...
I mean, I'm drinking a pork trucker because I have a problem.
I'm trying to get rid of... We've had this, like, random liqueur that we bought for one thing a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Chambord.
What the
And, like,
what is that?
It's like a raspberry schnapp or something. It's like 15% alcohol. It's not even very strong, but it's like raspberry flavored, and it's like fancy-ish. But we've had this for like 4 years now, and I just want it gone. And you know what?
Does it go bad?
No, it's alcohol. It's
Does
alcohol and sugar.
Does alcohol not go bad?
I mean, it can skunk. A beer can skunk, but like liquor.
Yeah, that's like. I don't think
No.
vodka can go bad, right?
No,
It doesn't-
the
it
higher,
doesn't-
the higher the proof, the longer it lasts.
Right. Yeah, that doesn't make
But, like-
sense.
And especially if it's sealed, it basically can't go bad.
But now my brain is starting to doubt everything I've ever learned ever.
I mean, people drink 100-year-old wine
I know.
or 50-year-old whiskey or whatever.
Well, that's if it's still sealed. They can't. They don't just
Yeah.
open it and then like leave it open for 4 years.
Yeah, but it can't. It's not open. I mean, it has a screw-on cap. It's not like it's evaporating the alcohol.
Not a screw-on cap. Not for a 100-year-old wine.
Well, no, but for a
You think a screw-on cap for a 100-year-old wine? Man,
the
I want my
Chambord,
money
for the
back.
Chambord.
Oh. Okay. Well then.
But like, no, it can't go bad, and it It tastes fine in Sprite,
Look,
and we had some Sprite in the house.
I don't know how physics works, man.
I did know. I saw this whole video once on Reddit or YouTube or something of this whole fuss of this restaurant was like serving very fancy wine, and they used this like hot metal to melt the top of the glass and did like the top of the bottle off so they could pour out of that. And I thought it was such a weird waste.
What?
I thought this was this whole, why are we doing this? This seems so nonsensical, right? They're putting on this big show, which admittedly they did make a show of it, but
Nope,
it was one of those things.
What is a target for this?
It was what I realized, or what I saw in the comments, because I thought this was like nonsense, and people were like, okay, they're making a show of it because they're trying to have some fun with it. Like it's a fancy restaurant and they're serving like 100-year-old wine or whatever. It's because the cork would just like disintegrate and fall into the wine.
Oh.
The cork is fine on its own as long as you don't touch it.
Oh, and as soon as you touch it, you compromise
But
it.
the moment you try to put a corkscrew through a 100-year-old cork, it's just gonna fall apart and fall into the wine and like basically ruin the wine. So you melt the glass so that you don't have to deal with the cork.
Gotcha.
It's one of those things that like I thought this was some haughty, weird, elitist nonsense, whatever. But no, it's just like it's actually very practical, and it's a.
It just seems absurd.
It seems absurd, but it's about the only thing you could reasonably do.
So how the hell do they just melt off the top of the?
There's just a metal tool that is a ring of metal that you get hot with like a torch, and then you create a seam, and then you basically twist the glass. You pull the top of the bottle off, right by the neck, basically, and then that's it. That's the whole thing.
That's pretty awesome, to be fair.
Yeah.
Bum ba da ba dum. Nope, I don't. I hit the wrong button.
By the way, I don't think the game technically, or talk to Midna when she wants you to.
I know. That's what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. There we go.
I don't know if you can do this now. We'll see. Yes. Remember,
I'm trying to have her, like, get
you
me
have
up
to warp
there.
it. Oh, it's a thing that you need to warp to fix. Do you remember what needs to be fixed?
It looks like a... Hold on. Is it part of a wall?
Not a wall.
Is this another bridge piece, goddammit?
Yeah, it's the one from Smash Bros.
That's what it is.
It's the Bridge of Eldin.
Cool.
So you can warp it. You don't have to do it now, but if you do it, she'll put the piece back. And then you can just warp back to the spot.
Which is right...
You have the warp spot to it. And she'll tell you if it's wrong. She'll be like, I don't think I can go there, I think.
Bridge of Eldin, right here.
Yeah. And then it's fixed.
Yay! We fixed it! I did it!
And then you can warp back to it.
Yay!
Fun fact, warping, now that you've gotten to the desert, that is the only way to get in and out of the desert at the moment.
I wonder if my buddy of mine, like, so a major Yu-Gi-Oh product released today that has the rarity and all that stuff, and a buddy of mine went with a bunch of money and got a bunch of displays, and he's opening them on our Yu-Gi-Oh Discord. I wonder if he's gotten any ghosts.
Hmm.
Fixed it.
Yay!
It's fixed now. Warp.
And now you can pop back over.
Hey, look at that! I'm glad we did it. Oh, hey, there's also the doggo over that way too.
You should look at the spot where the bridge was.
Oh, I just jumped off.
You did, didn't you?
It's fine. It's fine. I can climb back up. We're fine. We're fine.
I actually think that's a pretty good way to hide a secret because.
Ooh, that is pretty good.
But I will also tell you once you read what the place's name is called. Turn around.
What?
Oh, it didn't tell you. It didn't tell you what the place is. I will just tell you. This is your pit of trials. So while you could start this, you cannot finish it right now because every X floors of the pit, they have a gate where you need a specific item to get past.
Oh, so it's better to just come back when you have everything.
Yeah, just come back when you have everything. You could get some of the rewards now, and it is a genuinely difficult pit of trials, but it is also doable. It's just really hard. But if you go in with prep, bring fairies, bring potions, whatever, right? As long as you do that, it's very beatable. But yeah, you're gonna want to wait until after. You will need. I think you have to beat the last temple, and basically up until when you go to do the end game stuff.
Ganon's Castle.
Ganon's Castle. That's basically.
I've played Smash Brothers. I know it's Ganon.
I mean, I lied just now, but like I wasn't gonna stop you. But point being, you.
Oh. Are you guys cooking a human? What you cooking?
But no. Just do it when you're at that point of the game. I will tell you. One, they are cooking something.
Cooking some human.
There is somewhere in this desert, you will come across it, you'll be required to. You will see a big slab of meat over a fire. If you break the slab of meat, there is a heart piece inside.
Oh, that's...
It's a fun little one.
It's kind of messed up, dog.
Yeah. There will be a big slab of, like, video game meat. Wow, being mean to this pig. Why are you being so mean to the pig?
Can I ride the pig?
I don't know, but it didn't do anything to you.
Oh, wait, no, it just gave me an option. I should have been able to do something. Wait. Let me on. Let me on.
Oh my god. You monster.
Let me on the pig.
Jesus Christ.
Yes! You can get on.
You can. Now charge.
How long can I dash for? That's the real question.
How long do you have to dash for? Because there's not a stop button, you'll notice.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, good lord. This is very difficult to control.
It's fun, though.
Alright, please stop. I want to dismount. Thank you. You're not getting on there. Knock that off. Stop it. Are they cooking anything? They just have a...
Not this one, but one of them. Like I said, there will be one in just a little bit that has a big slab of meat.
Okay. This is blocked off.
Oh, wow, you broke the fire. I wonder how you get through.
Huh. Hook shot?
What? No. What? You just did it.
I know. I'm just fucking with you. It is my job. I saw when I crashed through the thing. But this also means that I have to go back this way.
Oh, yeah. There is some stuff. Look at the map. There's some little corners that have stuff. And it's night, so if you're going to look for that other bug, now's the time. You should be able to see it from pretty far away. I think it's in one of the little canyons. Some of the canyons, like, are bottomless, but some of them have a floor, and I think one of the bugs is in the floor, or is in the canyon.
Whee! There's a thing over here on the side of the desert. Oh god.
Yeah. I think you don't actually come in fully. Nice.
Oops.
There's a couple of hidden chests around.
I have to go get a pig again.
You do, which is a great time for me to refill my drink, because you're going to be doing this for a minute. But you should reasonably be able to beat this. You're going to go into a dungeon here soon. You should be able to beat it tonight.
It's already 8 o'clock.
Yeah, you can beat it in 2 hours. Really? You may need to just go straight there, to be honest.
But I'm doing stuff.
Well, I think you can do it. You don't have 2 hours of content in the desert, I'll tell you that. Alright, BRB.
Birdie. I'm a little birdie. Alright, we're gonna grab a pig. And then we're gonna ride. And try not to fall down any more stupid holes. These things are not the easiest to control, though. Uh-oh! I fell down a hole. I fell down the hole again. Excuse me. I really should look where that is. I really want to look at the prices of, like, the ghosters. They are probably going down. They seem pretty easy to get. I got the best one. Wow, Luber, $25. That's insane to me. All the cards from Ghosts from the Past are insanely cheap. Insanely cheap. Like, they're all, like, just $1. Crazy. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, I'm back, and it's not nighttime, so... Ugh.
I, definitely didn't fall down a hole a second time. It definitely did not happen. Now I think we're good. Charge! There's this like gate right here, this little thing. Yeah, there's a little chest right here. Yo, 100 rupees, let's go.
Yo.
We only need, like, 165 more rupees.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you could get enough before you go in the...
It's entirely
before
possible.
You go in the dungeon? That's, yeah, it's plausible.
If I can find another, like, hidden chest, maybe.
I think there's a chest on the far eastern. There's that little blob all the way to the east. And then I think on the north side of that blob. If that makes sense.
What blob are you talking about?
The easternmost point of the map, right?
Mm. There's a little thing up here I can get to. I can hook shot up to.
Yeah.
We'll probably have something. Oop, ran into a wall. Wall. We're fine. We're fine. Oh yeah, this goes up this way. Wait a second. This doesn't seem good. This is just 3 skulls.
Check if you can dig there.
Oh, that might be a good point, actually, because the wolf can sense and then dig.
There are dig grottos. It'll be a black glowy spot.
Yep. Dig. Whee!
Yep.
Oh god, there's a Poe.
The Poes are well hidden.
There's another Poe. There's 2 Poes. How many?
I mean, you're making good progress.
How many do we need? 10
20 for the first rule.
20, okay.
Which you've gotten like 5 or 6.
We've gotten more than that.
I don't think you have 10 yet, though.
I think we might be at 8.
You could be at 8. Yeah, that's feasible.
Maybe. I don't know. We got a bunch. We got like 3 in that bomb dungeon thing.
Yeah, and there's going to be more in the next dungeon. There just are Poes there.
If I hit down, does it tell me? Yeah, I have 10.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Whee! Oh, snap. Oh, no, I missed it.
I will say, sadly, I genuinely don't have any more Xenoblade news. They really haven't. They've only tweeted a couple small things in the last week or 2.
Oh, no.
I know, it's a tragedy. I'm glad you sympathize with me. It's devastating.
It is. This is heartbreaking news. Do we have any more Sea of Star news? That would be great.
No, they tweet stuff out every now and then. They tweet out little bits and bobs.
If they could do that more, I would really appreciate that.
I know, I would too. Let's see, the last thing they tweeted out was April 30th. It's a few days ago.
Oh, okay, that's
and
not bad.
It was just a very brief thing that shows the characters doing like a little bit of platforming almost. They're walking across a narrow beam. And then...
On what game?
Whoa. And then on April 23rd, they tweeted out they made updates to the HUD of combat.
Oh, interesting.
And it looks really good.
Oh yeah, we have to avoid the internet now for the next 24 to 48 hours or longer. However long it's going to take you to see Doctor Strange.
I mean, it'll be fine. We haven't watched the finale of Moon Knight either, and that was this week.
I haven't watched Moon Knight at all, but I've heard it's incredible.
Well, it's done now. There's only 6 episodes.
It is out? Okay, then I can start watching it.
We're gonna probably watch the last episode tomorrow, and the first 5 so far have been really good. And I didn't even realize this week was. I assumed it was going to be a 10-episode thing, but it's apparently only 6, which makes me really wonder how they're going to wrap it all up. Because I thought we had several more episodes left, but it's all right. We'll get there. We'll get there when we get there. It is genuinely very good. Oscar Isaac did an incredible job.
Don't spoil.
Good job, Michael. Every spoiler you give me, I'll spoil something about Xenoblade 1 for Titus, because he's definitely going to play it. It's going to happen. Definitely going to play it. Any day now.
Any second now.
Any day.
It's like...
I honestly do believe you will play it.
I probably will, I just don't know when.
But you have stuff to do in the meantime, and it's fine.
I just don't fucking know when.
I as much as I would like him to play Xenoblade, I think that he will probably make an effort to finish Mass Effect before he plays Xenoblade.
Yeah, I've played 2 of them already. I probably need to play the third one.
Yeah, you only have the last one. It's not. I don't even think it's longer than 2.
2's it was like 30 hours.
Yeah, and 3, maybe 3's about as long. But like, yeah. 3 does kind of require you to do a little bit more of the side content, unless you want the bad ending. There's degrees of endings based on everything from decisions that you've made, like alternate stuff to also, of course, just like the third game has an amount of like do X amount of stuff or you're gonna get a bad ending. So assuming you don't want that.
I don't. I do not.
Wait, Jaden, can you do co-op with that? Without buying the game? When did you buy the game? How much? No. He's playing the new Lego Star Wars with a friend.
Jesus
Which
Christ.
I didn't realize. I didn't realize he had it. Because apparently he bought it today.
Does it matter? No. It's true.
I assumed you had. I didn't know if you could play it co-op without buying it, but you did. Cool, cool. Another secret move.
Very well. Before we begin, I must test to ensure you have mastered the skill I taught you.
Remember
the
the
back
last one?
slice.
Yeah, the back slice.
I don't remember it.
That's the side hop one.
Got it.
Yeah. They're a little annoying if you genuinely... The second to last move is bad. You're never going to use it.
The helm splitter.
Helm Splitter is... This is the best one.
Sounds good.
It is really, really useful. I love his shield covered in ivy. I love the whole aesthetic.
Oh yeah, his whole aesthetic is great. Show it to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I shield attack you and then I helm splitter you.
Yep, that's it. That's the move.
That's pretty
And
good.
it's really good. And then you hit him from behind. He just wants to... it's technically not part of the move, but it's like... This creates... It stuns them, so you can then do stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, Helm Splitter, incredibly useful. Works on most enemies. It's a really quick way to knock an enemy onto the ground and guarantee a finishing strike.
Sweet.
So for the weaker enemies, you shield bash, Helm Splitter, finishing blow, and then they're dead.
Sweet.
Obviously not. When you get there, you'll be like, "This is interesting," but like, no.
But
I'm never gonna use this.
No. Is there a nice hidden something back here? There do be a hidden enemy back here.
Levers, I believe is what they're called.
Gotcha. Is there a diggy dig spot here? Dig a tunnel, dig a tunnel. There is.
Sorry, that's from that movie I told you to watch. The Ron's Gone Wrong. Ron's Gone Wrong has a very funny, like, the main character is like he's either a first or second generation American, and they live with their like babushka grandma.
Oh
Who
no.
listens to weird like Soviet pop music.
Oh jeez.
It's actually really, really like genuinely. Ron's Gone Wrong really did take me by surprise. It's not a perfect movie, and it clearly was going for a similar vibe to Mitchell's versus the Machines in aesthetic, but I think it differentiates itself enough.
This one's the little tiny robot one, right?
It's just the sing. Yeah, it is different, and it is good, and it does tread some ground that Mitchell's versus the Machines did. But like honestly, it differentiated itself enough that I think it stands on its own. However, my beef with the movie was that the whole third act kind of just didn't really need to exist. Which it was fine. I was like, this movie is, wow, this is just such a good movie. It has completely caught me off guard. I love it. And the whole last, like, 20 plus minutes, I was like, okay, it could just be done now. Like, you didn't
could have ended. You don't need an hour
to do
and
any of this.
2 hour long movie. You could
Right,
just end it.
Yeah, you didn't need to do any of this. You could have resolved the plot 20 minutes ago.
I feel like that way with some movies, though. It's like you
I
really could have just ended it.
As I watch more movies, especially like we watch a movie once a week now, minimum, or once every other week, because we're sometimes listening to podcasts and stuff. We've been keeping up to date with Dungeons and Daddies.
I haven't listened to this current episode.
It is good. I've been appreciating that they've been a smidge shorter. They've been a little easier to listen to.
Yeah, they're just an hour long instead of like an hour and a half.
Yeah, but as I've been watching more and more movies, I definitely do notice myself thinking things like thinking a little critically about like how and why the movie, like editing and how and why, scenes work and story beats and stuff like that. I'm trying not to be too overly critical. If I like the movie, I like the movie.
Right.
And I still enjoy Ron's Gone Wrong. I think it's a very good movie. I just don't think the last act needed to be what it was. That's all.
Sometimes a good time is just a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I joked about having like a Bruce Willis month because we did a Will Smith month that turned into like 2 months. and we got tired of it. We didn't even finish.
And then he went and slapped somebody for no reason.
Yeah, we watched like 8 of his movies, something like that, 6 or 7 or 8 of them. I joked about a Bruce Willis month, but at the very least, it's like all the diehards.
True.
And then a bunch of other genuinely good movies.
I've only seen the first one.
You've never seen Die Hard 3?
No.
Oh, well, so here's the deal. Die Hard 1, amazing movie. Die Hard 2, like, it's fine, I guess, but, like, you don't need to watch it at all. Die Hard 3, almost as good as the first.
Wow.
Die Hard 4, good, not really the Die Hard vibe, but, like, still good, so it gets a pass, and then Die Hard 5 is just kind of, like, actively bad.
It's the one with, what's his name? Jake Long, or...
That's
Justin Long?
Justin Long is Die Hard 4.
Okay.
And it's good. So here's the overall vague plots. Die Hard 1 is Die Hard 1. Terrorists take over an office building in LA.
Right. On Christmas.
On Christmas. Die Hard 2. Terrorists take over an airport on Christmas, exactly 1 year later.
Cool.
Okay.
Original story.
Right. They are all on holidays. Die Hard 3 is terrorists, maybe? It's like, it's unclear exactly what's going on. They target John McClane on Labor Day in New York City. He's like, because he's an NYPD cop, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And 3 is in New York City while he's on the job. Die Hard 4 is terrorists target everywhere in the country on the 4th of July.
Okay. I mean,
it's a technological terrorist attack. It's like
Gotcha.
a cyber attack on the country. Hence why he needs the young sidekick, and he has to take the young nerdy sidekick on this crazy action-filled adventure when he doesn't know how to use computers or whatever, right? Like that's the gag.
Mm-hmm.
So which is funny. It's really good. From that standpoint, and the chemistry between Willis and Long is really funny. Is really good, and it involves you know how in Die Hard 1 they introduced that they have 2 kids.
Right.
Die Hard 4 involves the daughter.
Oh.
Who's played by what's her face from Scott Pilgrim. The main girl.
Oh, okay. Who plays the whatever?
Ramona Flowers.
Ramona Flowers
Is the character name. Yeah. And then Die Hard 5 is Valentine's Day in Russia, and it involves the son. And here's the very early in the movie spoiler. Don't watch Die Hard 5. Die Hard 5 is John McClane is talking to his delinquent son about being a delinquent. Mm-hmm. And it turns out the delinquent son is actually a secret agent. And they have to stop some people in Russia from stealing nukes to nuke the U.S. And so
Sure, yeah.
it's like a secret agent situation. Neat idea. The execution was just not as good, unfortunately. It's just not. It is not as good, sadly. But 4 is still really enjoyable. It just doesn't have the like. All the other ones have a pretty good understanding of like the set piece that they're on, right? First one's a skyscraper, the second one's an airport. The third one is New York City, which is big, but it's still at least like it's New York City. It's a themed central single place. 4 is just like they literally drive cross country at one point. So like,
really?
Or they drive a very, very long distance. It's still really good. It just doesn't have the Die Hard vibe. And then 5 tries to get the Die Hard vibe, and they just don't quite get there.
I don't know why I'm trying to hit this man with a bomb.
I don't know what you're doing either, but I'm not going to backseat. It's Zelda. It's not that hard.
Just killing, man. I was trying to style, but it wasn't working.
But yeah, I own Die Hards 1 through 4 on Blu-ray.
But like, why?
I got them as a gift, is why. And also, 3 is really, really good. 3 is, like, basically as good as the first. It's genuinely very, very good. So the first one is, main bad guy is Alan Rickman, right? Amazing, brilliant actor.
Yeah.
Third one, Jeremy Irons.
Oh, that's pretty good.
He's very good as a bad guy. He really nails... I mean, he's Scar, right? He knows how to do a bad guy. 3 is really good. Genuinely, you should watch it at some point. It's very enjoyable. Whether you watch it here with us or wherever on your own, it's just really good. You should watch it.
Stampede.
If you you should also watch Ron's Gone Wrong. You can watch that one on Disney Plus. You and your wife could just watch that whenever you want. She'd like it too.
Yeah, we're gonna go see Doctor Strange on Sunday for Mother's Day.
I do want to see Doctor Strange, but I kind of want to see Everything Everywhere All at Once first.
Yeah, that one's getting insanely good press.
I know. I really want to see it. And
I was like, this looks like a lot for a movie, but people are like, it's phenomenal.
I know, and I really want to see Doctor Strange. Like, we see all the Marvel movies.
Go,
but man,
why not both?
I kind of want to watch. We're gonna be so busy though. The next 2 weeks, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, we're driving to Nebraska just for a day.
Why?
For my husband's uncle's graduation from law school.
Oh man, 2.5 hours in the car, 2.5 hours back.
3.5.
Oh, you're going to Lincoln?
It's around Lincoln, I think.
Yep. Oh boy.
We got to bring Grandma on the way there too.
Oh no!
And not the nice fun grandma, the not fun grandma.
The racist one.
No,
I know,
but it'll be a thing. It's fine. She's fine. We love her, but like.
Oh my god, I can't. It's not worth to try and
exhausting.
do the attack. It's just better to just attack this thing.
So
the attack takes too long.
We'll see, but we don't have to bring her back.
Well,
which is good because we're not going to be back till like midnight, and I did not, after a very long day, did not want to also have her in the car for the way back.
What are you doing with the puppies?
Jeff's coming over.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
He's gonna watch them.
Gotcha.
Keep an eye on them.
Very cool.
Yeah,
I wonder what this will do.
I was like, I could call in a favor to my mom. She's kind of obligated to say yes after I've taken her to the hospital, taken her to the doctor
twice,
and I'm taking her to a third thing in like a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. By the way, don't take ibuprofen for.
Ibuprofen's fine. Well,
every day, or was it?
It was a leave in this.
A case. Leave. But don't take a leave every single day.
Yeah.
It warns you on the bottle to not do it.
Yeah. By the way. If you turn around right now, you have 572 rupees. If you can go scrounge up 26 more rupees, you can go buy the armor before you do this temple.
Let's go walk in here.
You could do it. You could be in the first room. I don't know. But yeah.
Scrounge up 26 rupees.
You're very close. You need 26.
This is going to be
also super hype, awesome dungeon. It's so much fun. It's really, really good.
Arbiter's grounds, huh? The Arbiter. What was it? What was that? Is that Mass Effect that says the Arbiter?
Halo?
No, it's Halo. It's Halo.
But yeah,
Halo.
this is genuinely a really good dungeon.
Oh no! I'm sinking! I don't want to sink.
Quicksand.
I don't want to sink. Oh, how the hell do I get around all this?
Yeah, next time you have an opportunity for a family movie night, you should watch Ron's Gone Wrong.
Yeah, this is okay.
It's very good.
I figured it out.
Ba ba da ba ba.
Oh no!
I've been playing FF7R, and I don't know if you got to this part because I know you played the demo or whatever.
The demo is just to make a reactor run.
Well, I know, but specifically, Barrett is in your party for that.
Yep.
But he leaves your party shortly after that for a long ass time. Which I asked my husband about that. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's in the original game. They are constantly messing with your party."
Yep.
In 7R.
Yep.
Like not until the end of the game do you have all 4 people, and at the end of 7R, they still script it so you never actually have more than 3 in your party.
Yep.
You never have a choice of who you have.
There's a point in time in original 7 you have everybody, and then like you just don't. You play without I don't want to spoil what happens, but you play without Cloud for a little while.
I mean, I'm not shocked at all. You technically have brief solo sections in 7R as just. You have solo sections as everybody, just Cloud mostly. But there's a brief section as just Aerith, there's a brief section as just Tifa, and there's a brief section as just Barrett. But
they just did Aerith and Tifa so well in that game, and the new girl Jessie as well. And then
Jessie and Big's great.
All of them are just so good.
I don't love Wedge because he's like, I'm hungry, and that's his only character trait. Yeah. Is the one who's obsessed with food, but
the
like
fat
whatever.
Guy?
Yeah, whatever. But no, Barrett, because there's not turn-based battles, there's no like victory fanfare, because it just picks back up where it left off. But there's post-battle dialogue, right?
Oh god damn it.
Barrett, in his big burly man voice, will go ba 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 ba.
That's pretty good.
Which is really funny. So I don't know if you experienced that in the Mako reactor because he may not do it there because it's so early.
I don't remember it if he did.
I think once you get him back in the party much later, I think he will start doing it. But yeah, it's genuinely very funny. It's his like main post battle dialogue.
That is pretty funny.
Barrett is so good in 7R. Like Tifa's pretty good. I like her. People
like Tifa because of the boobs.
I know, but they actually gave the characters.
I've heard Aerith is a delight.
Aerith is genuinely a delight because she's like I asked my husband about this and he's like, that's not really how she is. He's like, people that liked her before just kind of liked her because she was a girl or whatever, right?
I mean, it's true.
But in this one, she's like sassy and like, she's like, she sort of like forces Cloud to be her bodyguard, and she's just very like sassy. Wow, you actually did it without doing it the right way. Okay.
What do you mean doing it the right way?
You can claw shot the thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you just grab it with the claw shot, and then you don't have to walk into the sand.
Dude, the claw shot's amazing!
Yeah.
Holy shit!
It's not a hook, so you can grab things.
Yeah, you can grab oh my god. Now that reminds me of a... Oh, there was a ruins I just did in Forbidden West that made me a little angry.
Oh, yeah. Some of the ruins were pretty schnasty.
Because you have to use...
That's lantern oil, by the way.
I noticed, but yeah. I'm trying to, like...
That one you just hit. I don't know why there's lantern oil right there.
Yep.
Okay. Some of the relic runes can be annoying. The last one takes a minute.
I was really confused on what I was doing, and then I was like, oh... I think the switch I can grab. I had to grab it through the hole and then grab the freaking lights that were moving. And then I was like, "Oh, this was." I spent like at least 10 minutes going, "What the hell do I do?" Oh, bugs, buggies!
Yeah.
This is the Mummy.
Yep, we actually rewatched the Mummy for date night recently.
The Mummy's good.
It was good. Aged very well. But no, Aerith has these funny moments where she like.
Oh, you're scared of the light?
She's like, "Oh, I'll protect you." She will try to protect Cloud and stuff like that. She's very sassy and cocky, basically. But then she's also like, "Cloud's my bodyguard." You know, he's very strong.
No, she was not like that in the original.
She's very. She is an absolute delight in 7R for sure. One of the reasons I think you'll really like it because Tifa and Aerith get so much characterization that I cannot imagine that they get in the original.
No, absolutely not.
And Barrett is like a huggable dad, right? Like that's his whole thing. Is
and
he's
like,
protecting his little girl.
You get some characterization.
I have to assume that Marlene is a part of the original, and Barrett's daughter.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like, I have to assume that's not.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But he has these like touching father-daughter moments, which is really sweet.
And that does come across. I mean, there are those kind of moments in the original.
Yes.
But like, as much as
I need to look up who his voice actor was. He did such an amazing job.
As much emotion as some polygons and no voice acting can get you.
Yes.
So you had to create it all in a sense. You had to create it all in your head.
Yes.
And what you're seeing in 7R is basically what everyone created in their head for the most part. They're like, you know, to some people, they're like, oh, yeah, these are the characters that I know and love. It's because you created those characters that you know and love inside your brain. That's what you wanted them to be. Yep.
All the performances are good, and they also apparently made Cloud a little bit. I did a little bit of reading after beating the game. They apparently also made Cloud a little softer around the edges, where it's clear that he's not just completely aloof. Like, he actually does have an attachment to Tifa. He actually, like, has an emotional understanding. And the thing is he comes off as very, like, he's the merc, right? He does everything for a price.
He's this brooding merc.
Right. And the thing that they did, you can turn in a bug for money to Agatha, because you've got a bug. Even though you only need 6 rupees, you can just go turn in your bug to Agatha.
Yep. Do I need 6 rupees? I thought it was
5.90. It's 5.90.
You're right. It's 5.98. Yep. We have at least one bug.
But Cloud does this thing where like people will be like, "Oh, aren't you gonna help out?" Or, you know, like where he'll be like, "Oh, I only respect the strongest or the best." But what they do really successfully is the subtle like physical cues and stuff where like you can clearly it's very clear that he's just putting on a facade that everyone in the room also knows. Like, he's just doing it because it's like in character for, like, he knows that it's in character for him, if that makes sense. Where like, you know, there's some stuff where he trains with some kids, and the kids are like,
the jump roping thing.
There's not jump roping. There's other stuff.
Good.
But
they
like,
didn't make a reference to Final Fantasy IX then.
But he'll do stuff like, they're like, "We're gonna beat your high score," and he's like, "I don't know. Only the strongest people can beat my high score." Whereas in text, that would come off as like he's being just an ass to the kids.
Mm-hmm.
But in this one, he's clearly like laying it on
pushing them. He's trying to,
Right, and that's the thing that they did, and I think they did really successfully. Is they made sure that was clear to the audience that he's just kind of putting on a show. He's putting on an act.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, the Honeybee Inn.
Oh yeah, I've seen small cutscenes and stuff from that, and I want to. If I was ever to play it, I want to play it for that specific scene.
Oh my god, they did. I will say they did, because it's very much a like progressive gender situation over there. They did a really good job with it, actually. I thought. Andrea, what's his name? The guy that runs the Honeybee Inn. He's really cool and really interesting. And the whole
I see where they get
section...
the Splatoon music from, by the way.
Okay, time for you to get it.
Magic armor special.
Mm-hmm.
I will take it.
All right. Go read the instructions. You are smart. You bought it at Mallow Mart.
I lose rupees, not health.
Yes.
Wow, that's actually kind of cool.
But did you read the last page?
It will become a mobile. I'll become a mobile if I.
It's like you have super iron boots on if you run out of money.
But then I just change armor.
So yeah. So it looks amazing.
It does look really good.
But here's the thing: it also drains money over time.
It does. Oh, it drains money significantly.
That's the problem. If it literally just didn't do that.
Holy crap, that was fast.
Yes, it is. It also changes appearance, actually, when it runs out. If you want to waste it's worth the 10 rupees just to see what it does. But yeah, if it's literally the only problem with it, it's a really neat idea. It's a really neat way to, like, if you need to power through a boss or whatever.
Whoa.
But then it becomes...
Oh, God.
Yeah. It's
okay.
It's
Neat.
a problem.
Won't ever fucking use it.
I know. It's a shame because it's also like the coolest looking armor in any Zelda game, basically.
I spent 600 rupees on nothing.
Yep. It's really, really unfortunate. The last time I played this game, I made a point to, like, right before beating every boss, I switched into the magic armor so that I would have it on for all the cutscenes because it looks so good.
Oh, that's funny.
But like, that's all you can do with it because it's such a waste of money otherwise.
It does. It definitely do seem that way.
It drains it way too fast. And admittedly, with the big wallet that they added in HD, they added a 9999 wallet. It's really cool. I really like the way it looks, but it unfortunately just sucks. Sorry.
Unfortunately.
But it looks so good. So, all right, go back in, run all the way to where you were.
We're only in the first area, so it's fine.
Yeah, FF7R. Barrett's a great dad. Cloud is, like, softer around the edges. Tifa and Aerith are really good.
I guess the only time you really get to see the characters as non-polygons is the movie Advent Children. And that's where you kind of get to see, like, Tifa and stuff come into this character.
But that tries to cover the whole game, right?
No, Advent Children doesn't even cover the game story. Advent Children is a separate story. Like, it's after the game.
Oh, I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, it's after the game completely.
It also, I think, 7R, really, really establishes what Midgar is in a really good way.
That's good.
Midgar seems really interesting. I don't know if you have to... Oh, you're given the chest. And it gives the bad guys personalities too. Like, the Turks are really interesting. They actually have some personality.
The Turks are pretty cool in Advent Children, to be fair.
And obviously Sephiroth is good. And they add a bunch of stuff too, right? Like, I won't get into it, but 7R's story is not just a rehash of the original. It's not just a straight one for one.
No, I heard they changed stuff.
They do.
I heard they changed a pretty significant amount of things.
They do. I'm willing to tell you.
No, I'll probably play it. It is. Yeah. I have it for free.
Yeah.
So I should probably play it at least.
And remember, you can get that PS5 version for free too.
I can't really call myself a Final Fantasy fan and not play one of the
biggest
remakes of all time for Final Fantasy games.
It is the changes. I've read them.
We'll play it on stream, Michael.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you could reasonably make it a podcast game.
It would give me a reason to play it. It would force me to play it.
It's also not that long, all things considered.
It would force me to play it.
It would force you to play it. It's not that long. I could help you tidy up if there's any annoying side quests, because there are side quests. So, like, if there's any, like, little annoyances, I could streamline that a little bit for you.
We could, I mean, if it gets Michael here, maybe we should do that.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea, to be honest.
Long sections where you don't need to worry about cutscenes and story, and then you have sections where it's like, okay, cool, we're going to do a bunch of cutscenes tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that kind of situation.
I mean, it's kind of how we treated Xenoblade, basically.
Yeah. We had long stretches where we, like, didn't do jack as far as the story went. and I like how the game organizes it. Like the game is built into chapters.
Yeah, I do know that part because then you get to go replay chapters if you missed anything.
Yeah, right, and only after you beat the game.
Will you please jump
yes.
up there? Jesus.
But the chapters, there's only side quests in certain chapters. There are entire chapters that
you just play the story, huh?
You just play the story. There are things to find like extra weapons and extra items and stuff, sure. But there's no side quests. And then there are chapters, I think there's 3 or 4 chapters that have side quests. None of the others do. And so in those chapters, you just spend a long time doing side quests. But then you do them all, and you're good.
Whoops. Hold on.
And you should do them all. There's some in-game sort of rewards for doing them all. Not like huge or anything, but you get rewards for doing side quests, but then also you get rewards for doing all side quests. And the materia system is really fun.
The materia system from original is really good.
The implementation into the action combat worked really well.
That looks like a lot of pose.
The spell casting is actually really well done. I really enjoyed the ATB gauge system and the spell casting.
Is this just the frickin' forest temple all over again?
Kinda, sorta. In the sense that it is collect all 4 pose, yes.
Okay.
How you collect them, 100% different.
Oh.
Radically different, but yes, that's the thing.
I'm about to get my ass kicked.
Yeah, I mean, materia in the original or in the remake had some pretty crazy, maybe not OP per se.
There's some pretty insane builds in the original.
The main problem with this one is because of how often you're just like one-on-one, you do have to kind of move materia around a decent amount, and stuff like that. But by the way, even though these are story posts,
they still count.
They still count.
Pretty nice.
Yeah. I obviously they had to adapt some of the materia, and I'm sure there's new materia that wasn't in the original, and I'm sure there's materia that is like just had to be heavily modified or whatever. But it's really good. I really like it. They definitely had to tweak like haste and all the time stuff because there's no turns anymore. But what they do is
like haste and slow is what you mean?
Yeah, haste, slow, and stop is the time materia, and how that works is you have the ATB gauge, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have an action gauge. It just makes the action gauge feel faster when you're under the effects of haste, and when you're under the effects of slow, it makes you feel slower.
That's what it does for original game. Is an ATB, any kind of ATB game. So like, think of Final Fantasy 13.
Well, does it make it feel over time?
It feels faster.
Yeah, this one is because the character you're controlling gets ATB over time. The character you're not controlling gets ATB when they do stuff, but the character you're controlling also gets ATB when you do stuff, like hitting the enemy with attacks.
So haste just makes that
cure
faster, right?
If you're controlling a character, it feels faster, but then also the actions you do, like auto attacks or attacks, fill the gauge more.
So they just adjusted it on how it actually works.
Stop is still stop. It just freezes you in place. You just don't get to control that character for a few seconds.
I wonder if I don't know if Knights of the Round will be in the game, Michael, because of the way that summon works.
Summons in this are
they like summon as like a helper or like teammates basically.
They summon as teammates, and how it works is a battle has to. I think some battles don't qualify for summons. So, like minor battles just don't get flagged. You can't use certain summons in them. And then for major battles, after X amount of time, your summon gauge will start filling. It'll appear on screen and start filling, and then once it's full, you can spend ATB to summon. And who you summon depends on who you're controlling and who spends the ATB to do it, because everybody can equip one summoning materia.
Mm-hmm.
So
you're only
everybody
limited
can
to one
only
summoning
get
materia then too. Okay.
Well, per character. So
Yep.
Cloud can have one, Tifa can have one, etc. and then they appear as an ally, and you can spend ATB to cause your summons to take actions instead of you. So, for example,
okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Cloud can use ATB to use the skill Triple Slash, or he can use ATB to cause Ifrit to use a different skill, and then etc. And some skills cost more or less ATB.
Please move.
Hey, you found these technically aren't redeads, I think, because they're the mummies, which makes them Gibdos, but they're very similar.
They're fucking terrifying.
I also really like their weapons and stuff. Again,
I can't hit them with fire.
No. But yeah, the summons available in 7R are Ifrit,
Leviathan, Shiva, Bahamut, Ifrit.
And then also there's some minor ones. Some of them I think were like DLC, and some of them were free DLC.
Is there like Carbuncle and Chocobo?
There's Carbuncle. Well, Fat Chocobo is also in the game.
Okay, cool.
And then there's Carbuncle, which that was free DLC, I think. And then there's Moogle and regular Chocobo as a single summoning materia. It's a Moogle riding a Chocobo.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty cool.
And then there's a Cactuar, which is the only Cactuar in FF7R. They don't appear any other time. You never fight them.
I love Cactuars.
And they do finite damage. I think they were another free DLC.
They do 1,000 damage, right?
It's either it's 1, because 10,000 would be crazy in 7R. And then Ifrit, Shiva, Bahamut, Fat Chocobo, Leviathan, Moogle and Chocobo, Carbuncle, Cactuar. There might be one more I'm forgetting. Honestly, I mostly use Carbuncle. Because
really?
Carbuncle, because the big ones, like Leviathan, you can't summon everywhere because some rooms are too small and stuff.
Oh, so they actually take that into account, which is cool.
The Leviathan is big. Ifrit and Shiva are smaller,
Yeah,
and I
like,
I didn't get Bahamut.
They do be human size.
And then the little ones, they can be summoned like anytime. But Carbuncle was good because Carbuncle will do passive healing for your whole party, just like while he's out. Because they also do stuff even without spending ATB. They do a little bit on their own. But then Carbuncle's active skills are like... It has one which is like barrier for the whole party. One of them is mana wall for the whole party, like magic barrier, and then one of them is haste for the whole party.
Okay.
And also they all have big special skills when their timer runs out, because they're only summoned for X amount of time. So once you summon them, a new gauge starts, which is how long they can be summoned for or whatever, right? You summon them, and then they're around for X amount of in-game time. And then once they go away, they have a big finishing move, like for Shiva, it's Diamond Dust.
Yep, that's her typical move.
Right. Carbuncle is, like, full heal, full revive, and, like, ATB boost for everyone on the party. So if you're having a tough fight, you just bring out Carbuncle, and then if people are dying or whatever, you just wait, and then when Carbuncle goes away, just everybody's back to full, basically.
What am I missing? Yeah, the original had 3.
At least in this one, there's only one
there's
Bahamut.
like Bahamut 0, and Neo Bahamut. And
this one only has
I think
one.
there's actually one more.
Bahamut is a bitch to get in the base story. I failed, and I was trying to get it because you have to unlock it, and it's just really hard. But yeah, they add a bunch of there's a whole materia dude. His name's Chadley, and he's how you get materia. He's how you get a lot of the materia in the game. Chadley's super cool. He gives you what he calls battle intel, which will be stuff like assess this many enemy variants of the same type of enemy, or defeat this many enemies, or use certain kinds of skills in battle, whatever.
I was making sure I was right. Yeah, it's like Bahamut 0, and Neo Bahamut are the 3 Bahamuts in original.
Yep. I am very curious based on what
it says there's 5? What the hell?
In just 7?
Oh, it's counting it's counting Crisis Core. It's counting Crisis Core and it's counting FF7R. Or not F7R, Advent Children.
We don't know how many parts, and that's what I was speculating on. I can't imagine it's going to be anything less than 3, based on what I know.
It has to be like 3.
Based on what I know about the pacing of the original game. Because I will say, I know the big main thing. Big main spoiler.
Oh, you mean like it's in the middle of the game, I guess?
Ish. It's not in the scope of 7R.
No.
But it is. I do know it.
It's about middle of the game.
Yes, I know that one. But I also know one of the major things... Oh, wow, this just now popped up.
Huh.
Ew. Oh, you need, by the way, that Poe. You need to go smell the Poe.
I already smelled it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, then just keep going. I know the big thing, but I also know one of the major things they changed in 7R.
So that might not be a thing that happens in...
I literally can't say anything. The thing is, you could play the game and not realize this is what they're doing.
I mean, why create such a good character just to have the thing happen again?
No, it's a different character.
They're gonna do it to a different character now?
They're gonna not. They have already not done it to a different character, maybe.
They're gonna kill Jesse. Those motherfuckers.
Here, I'm.
I'll just play the game. We gotta play on the podcast.
I know. It's literally in the last. It's literally in the post boss cutscene that this is revealed.
We just gotta play it.
A major change to the story of the original game is revealed in the basically final moments of the game, but also. There's an extra layer to it that makes it interesting.
Interesting.
There's a layer to the change that makes the change. Is it a change?
I see what you're saying.
Maybe.
Or they can maybe accomplish the same goal by doing something different.
Or like. So here.
Nope, it's fine. We'll just gotta play it.
I know. I just can't say it.
We just gotta play it. What the hell is going on here? Okay, hold on. I gotta look around.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Okay.
I'll say this. Here's what I will say. I think I figured out.
Wait. I've learned. I can grab.
Yes, I think I have figured out how to say. This.
Hey, come here.
There may.
You dick.
The story changes, but it may not invalidate the original game.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I got. That's all I got to say. I don't know. There's also some stuff, by the way. Once you get into New Game Plus. Oh, you got smushed. Once you beat the game, you can replay chapters, but you can also find what they call manuscripts, and then also intergrade, add some stuff. In addition to the changes to what we consider to be like the plot of all the main characters, there seem to also be changes to the world-building lore.
Okay.
So here's one that they tell you very, very, very early. And it also doesn't actually impact any of the plot of the game. In the original game, there was a war between Midgar and Wutai. And that war is over, right? The game takes place in the sort of after time of this war, right? Yes, in 7R, it's a ceasefire. The war is not necessarily over. It is a ceasefire. And so, what does that mean for the plot of the game? But
Shinra is still around and still a major thing.
Shinra and Wutai both still exist. It's just that the war is in a ceasefire instead of just being over.
So that could mean war could comeback is basically.
So basically, Wutai is not just like gone.
Yeah.
But and again, this doesn't impact the plot of 7R at all.
No, it's the same thing with just a different circumstance.
But I believe it explains what's going on with Intergrade, with why Yuffie is where she is.
Ah, so that's how they get her there.
And so it changes aspects of like what's going on in the world at large, and makes you wonder how could things play out differently
It's the
moving
compass.
So
It's the compass.
you didn't find a dungeon map yet, did you?
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay, I missed it. All right. But yeah, that's, for example, that is one of the lore changes that is known.
Interesting.
And yeah, it raises some interesting questions, like what does that mean for things moving forwards? And that's a great question. I don't know.
I guess we'll see. I'm interested in what they're gonna do, but I really hope they don't drag it out.
Also,
to like
by
7
the way,
parts.
7R does have an easy difficulty, so if you wanted to just blaze through the game, you could just put it on easy.
We'll just play it on normal.
Okay.
Easy was interesting because easy puts it more as like it stops, so it's more turn-based as well. Which is cool.
No, normal.
There's a turn-based option with or at least there was in the demo. It was normal was more action-based, and then you turn it on easy and it would be way more turn-based. Like you actually had time to sit there and like choose a move and stuff. So they might have changed that.
So the way I understand it, the way it played, so there's, by default, there are 4 difficulty modes. Normal, easy, and then there's normal, classic, and easy classic.
Oh, that's what it was then. They changed it into classic, okay.
Classic is... and then once you beat the game, you get hard mode, which is insane. Hard mode is you're not allowed to use items in battle at all.
Yeah.
And fuck that, because I used so many items and I needed them.
Oops, there's the mic.
So, classic is... Yeah, so what it does is classic does all your attacking for you, and so you're just navigating menus the whole time. It's still action-based, but you're not actually touching the menus.
Yeah.
Or you're not touching the auto attacks.
Yeah, it's more turn-based, so it's more like the
Yes.
Old
Whereas the other ones, what they do is basically whenever you go into the menus, it's bullet time.
Yep.
Where time, and it slows down like even more slow than what Horizon does. It's like basically stopped, but technically not.
Yeah.
So you can't cheese things or anything. Yeah, and then hard mode is normal except you're not allowed to use items in battle. You can only use spells and commands and stuff. I would personally do normal, just straight up. I would not do the
normal,
classic
okay.
modes. Yeah.
I tried classic in the demo, and it was just kind of lackluster, just because of how the game is.
I like the ability to switch your targets and to move around and stuff like that. I thought that was really fun. What's going on?
Bugs.
Is it bugs? Is it bugs? What type of foe could be pestering you?
Squeaky little rat demons.
By the way, this will happen again in places where you won't expect it. So just if you ever see this happen again, we're like, why is Link moving so slow? It's this.
Why won't
you have to do a spin attack, not a dash attack. You actually have to do the spin where you like don't target anything. But you have to do it as a wolf, I believe.
So I have to do this while I don't hit anything.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I would say regular normal is fine. But I wouldn't blame you for doing just regular easy, which is the exact same thing. It's just everything has less health and does less damage.
If anything, if I was going to change difficulty mode, it would actually probably be...
To classic?
To classic.
I mean, that's up to you.
Which is weird.
I didn't touch the difficulty once, and I enjoyed my experience, but obviously...
Yeah. It's not that I didn't think that the demo was hard. I just didn't like the combat.
I will say I didn't like guarding very much but then when I needed to guard,
It was helpful.
it was like basically I mostly didn't ever like guarding, but there are so many. So there's this idea of staggering enemies,
Yeah, you have a stagger bar.
and when the stagger bar fills, they take a lot more damage, and they also like stop doing shit. And there are some enemies who will just harass you, basically, and you basically if you don't stagger them, it's really hard to do anything to them. But then once you stagger them, you can like really chunk them down. And in the case of...
Oh no, I hit a button. I'm gonna die. Okay, we're good. Whew, sorry. I almost died.
Oh, that's funny. You can... I think you're past them now. Those chandeliers have holes in the middle, so you can stand in the middle of them.
Oh.
Fun little tidbits so you don't get crushed.
Oh. I think I have to do that for this next part.
I realize I think you do. Sorry. Spoiled that puzzle. Didn't mean to.
Oh, balls.
Anyways, some enemies...
Oh, that's why you have to move that block so you can get back. Okay.
Some enemies, when you assess them, it'll be like, block their attacks to stagger them. And like they won't... Their stagger gauge won't fill until they hit themselves against a blocked attack, basically.
Yeah.
So some enemies, it's like, oh, I actually need to block. Otherwise, I'm going to have a hell of a time with this fight. Most enemies, you don't need to block against.
And I think...
just fight.
When I played the demo, another one of our buddies played it and was like, "It's fine, but it's not the Final Fantasy VII that we know." But
no,
then he ended up playing it and he's like, "I enjoyed the experience, but if you're expecting Final Fantasy VII that you played before with a turn-based, don't. Just understand that it is an action RPG now. It is not, which is whatever, I guess. You idiot."
It is straight up, it is a different game, it's a different kind of game.
Which is fine, I just wish that Square would stop moving in that direction. And now, they have released, this is some interesting information, because Square recently has been in the news because they sold off Tomb Raider.
Yeah, so they could invest in the crypto market that's currently crashing.
Yeah, that is tumbling to the ground
Which
right
I'm
now.
just hoping that they sold it to somebody who will do something really cool with Tomb Raider.
Which
Tomb Raider was already pretty good.
Which is crazy because like all the Tomb Raider games have been received really well.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they would just sell them.
I've watched most of them be played, and I thought they looked really sweet.
Yeah. So that's strange, but like there's been a report from the Japanese side of Square Enix, like, we need to stop making JRPGs to just appease to the West, because they're actually apparently losing audience in Japan.
Oh, interesting.
Which is interesting to me.
That said, I will say...
You're not dead. There's no way you're dead.
Turn-based, there's only so much you can do with turn-based. You can get creative, you can get interesting, but turn-based is always turn-based. But once you get out of the turn-based formula, you have, I think, more freedom creatively.
I think it kind of depends.
And I can imagine that some of the devs that have been working on the games are a little tired of turn-based.
I mean,
turn-based definitely originated, I think, from this situation where...
I don't think that's true at all.
I think that turn-based fell out of how games had to be made at the time. It was a really easy way to make a really interesting, fun, engaging game.
Pokemon would really like a word with you.
I'm just saying, like, they couldn't have imagined what games would be. Turn-based was something that came out of the creative...
right. So, but saying devs are tired of it, Pokemon would like a word with you, Dragon Quest would like a word with you, like, it's not that. It's the West can't handle turn-based.
Well...
They just don't really appreciate it as much. But
Pokemon number one, Legends Arceus exists.
It's still turn-based.
It's still turn-based, but they have revamped it, which you can do.
It's still turn-based, and so it's not an action RPG.
No, but it has elements of the game that's not
like the boss fights. Yeah, like you can mix that kind of stuff into a game.
It can be really hard to make. I think these days, turn-based things are definitely so well known that it can be hard to innovate in the turn-based field.
But
And
again,
I think it's easier to innovate when you're not locked to turn-based.
Dragon Quest has been doing it, and they don't ever need to innovate. They just make really solid, amazing games.
They do. Yeah, I'm not denying that at all.
It's because they get to focus on the narrative, and the gameplay is still fun because you know
Yeah.
exactly what you're getting.
I'm not saying that you can't. I'm just saying I could imagine maybe the creative leads, even if it's not the dev team, but like the creative leads, like there is a very small group of people that are in charge of, for example, Final Fantasy. Like there is a top-level creative team that probably decides what type of game they're gonna make, right?
Right.
And I would not be shocked if those people who have been around a very long time got a little fed up with turn-based, and so they elected.
Maybe.
And so they elected. They're like, these are the kinds of games I want to make right now. So these are the games we are gonna make right now.
Because, I mean, let's look at, like, what Square Enix is going to put out. You know, that Valkyrie game that looked like absolute dog shit.
Whatever is going on with that thing.
It's like, man, I would much rather have a freaking turn-based game that is 10 times better than whatever the hell that is going to be. Because, like, you don't have to necessarily focus on the combat, because while the combat is simplistic, it's still fun and engaging, but the mechanics are, in a programming stance, pretty simple. So you can focus on the other parts of the game. Where it's like, oh, if you do an action game, like, oh, this has to be insanely polished, has to be intuitive, has to be fun and engaging, and we have to make a crazy narrative and good graphics and all that stuff, which is, you know, Final Fantasy VII R does a really good job of doing. It does both, which is fantastic. Ooh, I have to go up there. That's...
Yeah,
so
like I said, I don't think it's some sort of thing where you can't make turn-based good anymore.
No, you absolutely could.
You absolutely can. I just think that I wouldn't be shocked if some of the people, especially on these longer-winded series, some of them probably are like, this is my bread and butter, I know it, I love it, and I know how to do it well. And I could see it being similar to like the Paper Mario creative team, where they're like, we don't want to make the same game again. We want to make different games regardless of whether or not our audience likes it. We want to make these kinds of games because that's what we enjoy making, which is what that's the vibe. A lot of people bitch and moan about the Paper Mario situation, and I know I would love Thousand Year Door 2. Like, I would love another game that returned to those roots. But
it kind of depends, though.
But I firmly believe that the way they've just talked about it is basically like, we're just tired of, like, we don't want to make that kind of game, and if you don't like it, that's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
that's not the game.
That's true. That's true. You don't have to like it.
Yeah,
which is fine, and I don't mind that.
And by the way, as a fan, that sucks, especially if they're specifically choosing to do something you like less. I don't want to like minimize that either. If they are choosing to go in a direction that you don't like, it's okay for you to feel upset, but like you can't act like they betrayed you.
No, and I don't necessarily believe that as what it is, but it's at the same time, it's like you're making all of these action games. You can make both. You can do both to appease both audiences.
Yes, I agree.
Oh, I just missed this chest completely the first time.
Yep. Also, you haven't really been trying to follow the post sent, so
nope.
That might help.
Well, yeah, now I'm at a spot where I need to. Oh, hey, 5 pieces. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm gonna need to follow the post sent, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, so I totally understand the idea that like people are frustrated by games not being the games that they want them to be. Totally valid.
And when you're in an like in two different audiences with the West and the East, you kind of have to appease both. You have to make an action RPG and then make a turn-based, and then make an action and then make a turn-based. You have to do both.
Yeah, and there are going to be, and that's the other thing too, is there is always the case, especially online, the people who are loudest are almost certainly the minority. They are, at the end of the day, it's what sells. And it doesn't matter what your very devoted fan community says, you represent a tiny fraction
Yeah.
of the people who buy these games. Like, What's gonna change people's minds is sales.
I need to go in here, but I have to figure out how to move the thing. So if I wait a second, hold on.
You know what might be a good stopping point for this dungeon, if we can get it, is getting the dungeon item.
Can I do this?
I think we can get there.
Can I do this? Nope, it shoots me up anyway. Okay. So what do I need to do? Why is this down?
I don't know. Maybe you should fiddle with stuff in the room.
There's nothing really in the room. There's this hook shot, which doesn't make sense to me.
Oh yeah.
I think I need the item. This leads to this leads to the item.
You don't.
Alright, what do I gotta do here? Is there do I have to send something as the dog? Oh boy. Alright, let's look at the doggy.
I mean, definitely check your map. Are there any rooms that you can get to you haven't been to?
Oh, I guess I could do that.
There's clearly a room to the north that you cannot get to right now.
Apparently. Oops. Come on now. Map. No, there's this room, and there's oh wait, there's the basement. There's a second floor. There's a third floor.
This dungeon has 6 floors.
There's a basement that I haven't been to at all. Alright, so I need to find a way.
I don't know if you can get there. Yeah.
Can I sink in quicksand and go to a basement level?
No, no. You never have to sink in quicksand.
Okay. Because that leads up there. I need to find a way into the basement. Do I just bomb this? Alright. I'm gonna transform. Let's just bomb this. You know, let's try to bomb it. Why not, right? Bomb. That didn't work. Alright. This is where I make a fool of myself because I'm stuck in a sense, and I have to figure out where the hell I need to go. There's a post sent this way.
The center room, you may want to reassess the post-sent from the main center room with all 4 torches.
I did that. I just
because it differentiates the 4 different post-sents, like
yeah,
the different directions.
Wait, hold on. Let me transform into a wolf again, and let me look at the post-sents. Because it's like there's one up that way. Okay. Maybe I didn't get that one. But I thought we did this one. Oh wait, no. This one just got us to an end of into a room, and we didn't actually. Okay, we're gonna try this. Hold on. I'm getting there. I promise. So, did you want to finish that off with some Pokemon trivia?
We could. I'm currently reading about the new Magic the Gathering Pride set. And
oh yeah. You gonna purchase some?
The mild controversy around basically one of the cards.
The bear one?
People bitching and moaning about how it's not for kids. Like Magic isn't full of.
Like Magic's not full of that shit.
Horrible
already.
Monsters and weird sexy ladies and stuff like that.
We have the same issue with Yu-Gi-Oh! Where they're like, we have Lost Arts. Lost Arts are the censored arts that were in Japan then were changed in America. And it's like, oh, we censored it because this is a kid's game. It's like, but it's not a kid's game. This game is
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Very difficult to understand.
It's not approachable for children at all.
Well,
not even a little bit.
To play it the correct way, no, not even.
No. A kid can be okay at Pokemon. They're not going to be okay at Yu-Gi-Oh!
No, it's a whole thing.
Yeah, and I think it's
They still want to
again,
say it's a children's trading card game, so that we have to get censored arts.
yeah.
It's silly. I don't like it.
Yeah, and I see, and Reddit is luckily like,
Get over it.
yeah, there's a post that's like, okay, here's all the cards that have women with huge, crazy cleavage. Here's a bunch of cards of women that have like thighs that go all the way up. Here's a bunch of cards that have, you know, shirtless men and women on it, and so on and so forth. And being like, yes, they basically the Bearscape card. People are like, okay, here's a bunch of cards of shirtless men. And
why is it not okay now?
Right, like just because they're larger men and they use that specific word, which like isn't inherently sexual technically. Admittedly, it's often used that way.
I mean, it's just used to describe a male.
It's a description of a certain body type, mostly used by the gay community, but it's not necessarily. It's not a sex.
It's not a sex
term. No. Like. It ultimately isn't that.
Yeah.
It's independent of that. But yeah, like that's the Reddit is like, this is nonsense. But it also that there are people that are bitching and moaning about it, and that's unfortunate because they shouldn't be.
I found the secret door.
You did indeed.
Oh, oh, come here. Come here. Let me get you. Let me get you. No, no, please. Target. What are you doing? Target. Holy shit, house mouse. Just do it this way, please. Thank you. Ugh, dog targeting, not as good. Not as good.
No, it's not. Combat as the dog is basically just like, can you use your superpower? Yes
not,
or no. If not, don't be a dog.
Don't do it. Alright, we have one more of the post sets. So I have to go find where that other post scent is. It was in that room that I couldn't get to, though.
Yes. Do you remember? Yeah.
There's this room again.
I can give you a mild tip.
Well,
But
we're gonna go back and
ask for it.
We're gonna go back and look real quick. Okay, we're in here. Yeah, we're good.
We can do some Pokemon trivia if you want. I didn't have time to make a ton of. I only have like 19 questions, but we can do some.
If you would like, we can do that. That's fine.
I mean, honestly,
I thought I went in this door.
There is a non-zero chance.
Oh, I understand.
You understand now?
Yeah, I have to switch it from up here and then go out and then come back in. Yeah, that makes sense.
You're almost there, but I think you'll figure it out. The way you phrased it is not quite correct, but I think you've almost got it.
I mean, I gotta go. Oh wait, I can't go out the door that way.
Right. So.
Okay.
There was something you were confused by.
Oh, it's the hole. I have to hook shot upwards now.
There you go. Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
I didn't. You could. It is very plausible that you could have stared at that for like
I
an
understand
hour. By the way, there's a chest I don't know if you've seen right by you. It's a minor chest.
This little one over here that I got already?
Is it open? I swear I saw it closed.
Nope. Got that one a while ago.
Okay. Okay, never mind. Alright, Hey.
We are going into a round boss room.
Alrighty. Ooh, yeah. Oh, let's do big round dead end room. Let's do it.
Right.
before we do trivia. Oh, this is not.
No, it's not. It's not the main one yet.
Okay, this dungeon does have a mini boss. I will say.
I mean, don't they all?
Oh. I'm thinking through them. I don't think.
Oh, like.
No, wait. Yes, and then. Yes, they all have a mini boss.
Why would they not?
I mean, Ocarina of Time does it. Several of them don't have a mini boss.
I guess that's true. They have like
most Deku Tree doesn't.
Jabu Jabu does.
Jabu Jabu does. Dodongo's Cavern, I don't think does. Does it have a mini boss?
I don't think so.
I don't think it does. And then
I mean, unless you count maybe you can counter an enemy and that's what it considers the mini boss.
Forest Temple has the Po sisters, but there's not like one mini boss. Then Goron or
Fire Temple.
Death Mountain Fire Temple has 2 Wizrobes, and one of them gives you the item, but there's like 2 fights, so it's not really one mini boss.
I still consider that fight a mini boss.
You have to fight 2 of them, and one of them gives you the dungeon item.
Yeah, I guess it's true.
Wait. Oh, okay, yeah, sorry.
Okay.
And then... Oh, is that the last one?
Mm-hmm.
Yay! And then Water Temple, Dark Link. Shadow Temple, Dead Hand. Again, you fight him in the bottom of the well, too, but I'll grant it. And then Spirit Temple has 2 different Iron Knuckle fights. Iron Knuckle and Bronze Knuckle. One is kid, one is adult. So, like, kind of. A lot of them kind of have them, and a lot of them do, and then a couple of them don't. In this game, every temple has a single distinct mini-boss.
That's pretty cool, though.
Okay. Pokemon trivia. The few questions that I have. Excluding shiny variants, how many cosmetic forms does Alcremie have?
Alcremie?
You remember which one Alcremie is?
That's X and Y. That's the...
No.
Is it not?
Sword and Shield. It's the whipped cream one.
Yes, Sword and Shield, not X and Y. It's the
Yes.
whipped cream one that has it's like it looks like a parfait.
Yes.
And then there's like a cake topping when it does its like Dynamax or whatever it is.
Yes, I'm excluding the Dynamax and I'm excluding the shinies.
So it has like how many different looks does it have? Then?
How many total different distinct looks? Again, excluding shiny, excluding Dynamax.
3?
Higher.
Excuse me?
They're cosmetic. They don't serve any function.
Oh lord. Oh lord.
They're-
What the fuck
they're-
is this room?
You'll figure it out. Just keep going.
Is it 7?
Higher.
What?
You clearly did not.
I did not pay
explore-
attention to this Pokemon.
You did not explore all Creamy's options.
No. I didn't even use the Pokemon.
Guess again. It's higher than 7.
25.
Higher.
What? 32.
Higher.
64.
Lower.
50?
Higher.
What the fuck? Why is there so many options?
You were almost there.
Is it just 60?
It's 63.
Oh my god.
So.
Why is there so many?
So here's why there's so many. To evolve Alcremie, here's what you're to evolve Milcery, which is the Pokemon that falls into Alcremie. What you have to do in the game is you get a Milcery, and then there are a variety of different items that you can have. They're all like candy toppings. There's like star candy, blue candy, berry candy, whatever, right? There's a bunch of these.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this room is really cool now that you see it, right?
Yeah, it's a twist. For...
Yeah. And then what you do to evolve it is you have to equip it with one of those candies, and then as a hold item, and then you spin around in a circle. You know how when you spin the control stick, you'll like do a little like.
Yeah, you do the little twirl.
Oh!
Hey, Lurk!
Hi!
What's up, Raiders?
It's podcast night.
Thunderstrike,
We're doing
good!
Pokemon trivia. Hi, Lark.
Hearts for hearts. Wait. You can do the little. You can do this little guy. This little guy has a little heart, right? Oh yeah, we're doing Pokemon trivia, chat.
Yeah, it's I do my best to write some trivia.
It's been 69.
Okay, it's not 69, but 63. So you
No. Their follower 669. So you gotta give them a little slurp.
That's.
Oh no! Who ruined it at 670 now?
That's a choice. That's a choice you made.
I know it was a choice, but it was wonderful. Thank you for the follow. Thank you. Oh, they unfollowed immediately. No, wait, no, please. I didn't actually mean it. Thank you guys so much for the follows. I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah. So also, by the way, we should mention this is a blind Let's Play, a blind of Twilight Princess. So no Twilight Princess spoilers either.
So
he don't know jack about this game.
Basically, what happens every week is Joe and I do this little thing where we talk, like we're two friends hanging out, talking about video games, talking about games we've played, talking about news, and we play a game. And this time we are playing Cosby Hokage. Believe it. We are playing. Hey, thank you for the follow again. So much appreciated. I really hope you guys enjoyed Lark's stream playing Final Fantasy XIV. Please make sure you donate to her cooking stream points because I have to watch her cook. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so we play a game and we're playing. This is my first time playing Twilight Princess. I'm going the wrong way because I'm getting flustered. Playing Twilight Princess. Oh, it's a Jack Frost. I love that emote. It's a Jack Frost emote. It's so good. So
yeah, this is the chance to show off your fun emotes.
Do
it.
Pogs in the chat, you know? Oh, I just ran into a wall.
Yeah.
What was I saying?
Donate to Lark.
Donate to Lark,
for
please.
Final Fantasy, or for cooking.
Also tell her she's wonderful.
Well,
and then
yes.
we're playing Pokemon. We're playing Twilight Princess, and we're doing Pokemon trivia.
And I'm missing, and Lark, I'm missing Benji right now. I'm really missing Benji. I'm feeling it this week.
Spoiler alert, something happens. Something that has to do with Zelda and the Master Zord.
Benji.
She's in a meeting.
Is Lark's D&D character, but we haven't been able to play D&D in like several months.
Oh, really? Why?
Been busy. It's 5 people plus.
That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people to coordinate.
5 people plus DM, and it's hard.
She's been trying to prog too.
It's genuinely so difficult.
This is gonna hurt me.
Like some of the people are in college, and some of them are working, and some of them are like it's just really really tough. So
yeah,
no hard feelings, but I do miss Benji. Our D&D campaign where like everybody has died at least once, but nobody's actually dead yet.
That checks out.
What person has been brought back from the dead 3 times? 2 times? And they were already, like, our characters don't know this, but I'm pretty sure they were already undead to begin with, maybe. It's complicated. They were already undead, and we've brought them back from the dead twice now. It's very interesting.
Alright, so what is our next piece
we
trivia
to finish
here?
up All Creamy, briefly, you spin around with the item equipped.
See a Thunderstrike.
It's a table. There's 7 different items, or there's 7 different items, and then the window of time during the day that you spin around changes the flavor or color of All Creamy.
So you have 63 combinations for All Creamy?
Because it's color in one axis, and then it's the candy you use in the other. Yeah,
oh
so there's 63 forms for All Creamy.
That's too many.
It's a lot. And then there's the shiny ones they ignore the flavor part. They only have the candy part. And then the Dynamax is just the Dynamax. Okay, next one. In Pokemon Yellow, Pikachu can be interacted with and will show several faces depending on its happiness or mood. How many total unique expressions does Pikachu have, excluding, like, if he's fainted, you can't talk to him?
How many? How am I supposed to know this information?
Oh, you could guess. I'm willing to give you half credit if you're close.
How many different? This original Pokemon Yellow.
Yes. Now I'll say this: there are two categories. There's a category where Pikachu is just its happiness level, and then he has some random emotion ones, and then he has some that are in response to specific events. So I will say, for example, he has a specific interaction when you're fishing. And there are other specific ones. So there's specific ones, random ones, and happiness ones.
Specific ones, random ones.
You just guess. I'll give you half credit if you're close.
I'm gonna say 8.
It is more than that, surprisingly.
Wow, for a game that old, I'm surprised it's not a fairly low number. So let's go with...
There's, I think, 7 happiness ones.
Oh my gosh, okay, that's
For example,
a lot.
no happiness right when you get him. He's, like, back turned to you.
So let's say 25, because he is Pokemon 25.
Okay, it is lower than that. It is lower than that.
Dang it. 18.
I'll give you half credit. It's 15.
Oh, that's pretty close. Okay, that's not bad.
There are... I don't know if I have the tab open. Pokemon... Yellow, Pikachu, interaction, Cerebi, please, Pikachu's emotions. So, there are 7 happiness, and they're just based on a number. Back turned, looking at you, smiling more, and then like hearts and stuff. There is a specific interaction for when Pikachu encounters Bill when he's transformed.
Oh yeah, there is.
There's a low HP version. There is when he hears Jigglypuff's song in the Pewter Pokemon Center.
There's a sleepy one, yeah.
There's a sleepy one. There's a poison burned, paralyzed one. There is a bucket on head for when you're fishing. Pikachu is scared when he's in the Pokemon Tower in Lavender. Pikachu will fall in love with the Clefairy in the Pokemon Fan Club. And then there's a generic, just surprised one. So, there you go. There's that. Okay, next one. Okay, this one's tricky, and I will give you some hints. Or I'll try to help lead the way. Which 2 Pokemon are tied for the lowest base stats of any Mega Evolved Pokemon?
Oh, Mega Evolved. Ooh, this is hard.
They're the 2 lowest base stats for Mega Evolved Pokemon.
Ooh.
Also, you got bugs.
Yeah, I do got some bugs.
You seem unbothered by them, but I am deeply bothered.
How do I get across?
You maybe can't right now.
But this is the way to the... That way right there is the way to the new item that I need. I need the hover boots, goddammit.
You'll figure it out, but yeah, it's not... You're getting there.
Do I need to go...
I can't remember if you just get the item from random stuff, or if you get it, like, in a big center room.
Well, there's a big round room to the north.
Which you do need to get to, as you might imagine.
Yeah, I probably do. Oh, you know what? I probably gotta go around, though, huh?
Mm-hmm. So, lowest base stat Mega Evolved Pokemon.
I gotta remember all of the Mega Evolved Pokemon is the problem.
I will say this. A couple extra Mega Evolved Pokemon were introduced with Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. It's not them. It added, like, Camerupt, Sharpedo, and, like, a handful of others.
Oh, yeah, because it added Gen 3 specific Mega Evolved.
Yes. It also added Swampert and Sceptile. Blaziken was already in it, but Swampert and Sceptile were not.
Yeah, because Sceptile's Bowler.
It's none of them. And it's also, I will say this, they are non-evolving Pokemon. Which eliminates the one I thought. I was going through this list, and I could have sworn it was this one. It's not Beedrill. I was just assumed it was Beedrill.
Wow, I would assume it's Beedrill. He has a pretty high attack stat, though, or speed stat.
His base stats are the lowest of Pokemon before they Mega Evolve, but he gets a massive boost. Beedrill gets he gets like 200 BST bonus. It's insane.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. That's
Also,
a
have fun.
lot.
It's a sword.
It is just a flying sword.
Have fun with this boss. It's really cool. I like it. Hey, you figured it out right away. It's not just a flying sword.
Yeah, I figured it probably wasn't just a flying sword. Oh, he's cool looking though.
I know! He's so cool!
Oh, he's really cool looking.
I think he might be called Stal-Lord, maybe? Because he's a skeleton guy. But yes, okay, it's not Beedrill. It's also not the one I thought it was. I went into this question with like, oh, I was thinking about Pokemon X
oh, do we have
and
to
Y.
play tennis?
I was thinking about Pokemon X and Y, having not played it in a while and wanting to play it again. And I was like, oh, this Mega Evolve, maybe I should use that Pokemon, but it's probably the worst one, and it's actually not quite. It's a different Pokemon.
Is it Heracross?
It is not Heracross.
Because it's a non-Mega, or a non-evolved Pokemon.
It is a Pokemon that does not evolve.
I'm trying to really think, because like Kangaskhan doesn't have great stats, but it was ability that made it so good.
Yeah, yep, that's the true statement. Parental Bond is busted.
It is busted, but I don't know if the stats were actually that good on that Pokemon. So I maybe Kangaskhan.
It's not Kangaskhan. I'll give you if you get either of the two. 'Cause
Wow.
there's two that are tied.
Wow, it's not Kangaskhan either. I'm trying to think of all the Pokemon that Mega.
I'm gonna go double check now and see and confirm because I don't think it's Mega Kangaskhan. No, Mega Kangaskhan's actually really
It's a pretty beast of a Pokemon.
It actually is, and the Mega evolutions that I've identified have lower base stats when Mega evolved than regular Kangaskhan.
Really?
When Mega evolved, these two Pokemon have lower base stats than just regular Kangaskhan.
Jeez, and I'm sure getting it because I don't remember all Pokemon that can Mega evolve.
True, I grant you that.
Oh, ooh, what's the item? Hover boots.
You think it's hover boots?
It's a hover spinner thingy. Okay. Oh yeah, I remember this thing. This is an item.
Know.
This is an item in Smash Brothers.
It's in Hyrule Warriors as a weapon. It's made appearances a few other times. It's made appearances a few other times. But now you get to experience the spinner in all its glory in the game, in the only game that it exists other than Hyrule Warriors, I suppose.
That's pretty cool.
All right, play with it. Have fun. Spin to your heart's content. Sadly, it's not actually very good.
Really?
You can hit the button again, by the way, to attack.
I mean, that's
fundamentally
cool.
It is used primarily as a platformer, but it does have some attacking capabilities. But it is primarily a platforming item.
It's still kind of neat,
but it is super hype, and I love it.
It's really cool.
Okay, all right. Here we go.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna have to half credit name Pokemon that can Mega Evolve.
I will say this. So I will either list you all of the Pokemon in order that Mega Evolve.
Yeah, that's fine.
Pokédex order, or I can tell you what gen they're from, because they're both from the same gen. So I will give you either just a massive list of the Pokemon who can Mega Evolve, or I will tell you what gen they come from, because they both come from the same gen.
Crap. Because if it's like Gen 4 or 5, I'm screwed. But if it's the other gens, I'm okay, I think.
I can just give you the whole list. I'll just read down the list.
Yeah. I think it's more fun if I try to guess by gen, though. It's more challenging if I try to guess by gen.
Okay, I will tell you both of them are Gen 3.
Gen 3?
Yes. But they were not added in ORAS, to my knowledge.
Okay.
Also, while you're grinding on rails, press the attack button while you're on a rail. That's your last little tip to learn how to use the spinner.
Spinning around at the speed of sound. Gen 3, huh? My brain immediately goes to like Seviper and what's his name, but
they don't Mega Evolve.
They don't Mega Evolve. I got hurt. I got sucked into the ground.
You did.
Gen 3. I'm trying to think of the Megas in Gen 3. Aeron evolves in Gen 3.
There are a grand total of... You know what? I'm going to double check if they weren't added in ORAS. I don't think they were. And I've told you that they're Gen 3, so I think that should be enough.
I mean, even if they were added in ORAS, it shouldn't really matter too much.
Yeah, I've told you but yeah. I feel like you could easily walk through several of these and eliminate them as definitely too strong to be the weakest.
Yeah,
you know?
that's the real thing. It's like there are several.
I love that. I love it.
There are several really strong Pokemon from Gen 3 that get a Mega. Sceptile, Blaziken, Swampert, Salamence.
Yep.
Aeron or Aggron into Mega. Mawile gets one as well. There's some major strong ones, but that's the problem is I know all the strong ones. I've probably just completely ignored the weak ones.
Yep. Yeah, of course.
So now I'm trying to like think which ones. And it's not the Pearl or the weird fish guy. There's not Mega Regis either, correct?
Nope. It's obviously not a Mega Legendary.
It wouldn't be a Mega Legendary because you have Rayquaza is a monster of a Pokemon.
Rayquaza, Groudon, Kyogre, and then of course Latios.
Yes.
And like Metagross and Salamence, they're also pseudo legendaries.
Oh yeah, Metagross.
It's obviously not them. It's obviously not them.
Oh, I wanted to jump over, but that's fine, I guess.
To jump, is that attack button that I mentioned.
Yeah. I just kind of jumped off, though. I didn't go straight over to the side.
Or maybe you have to hold the direction when you press the button. But
so
you can hop between rails.
And said Mawile's like really good, but doesn't evolve. So is its I wonder if it's the typing that makes it so good. Is Mawile's stats not really that good? Because it's Fairy Steel when it Megas.
It's Fairy Steel by default now, but yes, also when it Megas.
Oh, it's Fairy Steel.
Once they added Fairy type, Mawile became Fairy type, yes.
Oh god, do I need to go up there? What the hell? Oh, I need to like launch off and go that way.
Yep.
Oh boy, how do I get over there?
You're on the right track. You just haven't mastered the rail jumping.
Oh, I have to go that way. I see. This has to like launch me off that way. Okay.
Yep.
So I have to Tony Hawk this shit.
Yes, you do.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Okay. So if I think about it, I'm gonna guess Mawile is one of them because it doesn't evolve.
Mawile is one of them.
No way! The typing is so good. People were using her competitively.
I had no idea that base Mawile had such bad stats, and Mega Mawile also does not have great stats.
I did not know that.
Mega Mawile has less stats than regular Aggron.
Oh my god. That's bad. That's really bad.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're gonna try this. We're gonna go...
Mega Mawile has less stats than Kangaskhan. Unmega.
Whoa.
So Kangaskhan has base stats of 490. Mega Kangaskhan's 590.
I have to learn how to do the jumping thing because I am not getting this apparently.
Yeah, I think that was the wrong sort of route, but yes, you are.
No, I think that was the right way.
So, regular Kangaskhan has 490. Mega Mawile is 480.
Wow. Wow.
Yep.
That's impressive.
There is one other Pokemon that is 480.
It's a Mega?
You probably don't think about this one because it wasn't used very much. It's still not really good. It wasn't a great Pokemon to begin with. and the Mega only like kind of helped.
Is it a bug?
No.
It's not a bug.
If I listed all the Gen 3 Megas, you probably would just figure it out.
Probably. Okay, so let's think about Pokemon from Gen 3.
It definitely would be. It's a Pokemon that I wonder if I can get in X and Y, because it would be really fun to... you hit the button just this fraction too late.
I think so, yeah.
Because I usually, when I play X and Y, I don't bother with Megas because they're a little too good.
Oops.
But with some of the shittier Megas, it might be fun.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
And I don't know if I've ever used this one before. It's a Pokemon I really like.
The issue is like I can name a lot of the Gen 3 Pokemon, but I don't know if they Mega.
It's one of my favorite Mega designs, despite being not actually very good.
Oh, I have to go over. I have to go to the left. I don't know why
Yes.
I keep trying to jump forward. That's so silly.
Yes.
Okay, so Mega Mara, Mega Aggron, Salamence, the starters. There's another one in there.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? There's just regular Wailord. It's as big as a Mega Pokemon. What am I missing? It's gonna be really annoying when you.
Yep, I'm gonna say it. You're gonna immediately know what this.
Remember.
You're gonna know what this Mega looks like. Hey, you figured out the jumping. Good
wrong,
for you.
Wrong direction, please. Nope, stop. Nope, please. Nope, please. Thank you. Please stop. Let's go. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go this way. Here we go. There we go. Now
Hey,
we're rolling
you did
around
it.
at the speed of sound.
God, I love the spinner. It's so much fucking fun.
Oh, but I missed, and now I have to do it again. It just automatically missed.
I
I
don't think it automatically.
I didn't press a single button.
I think maybe you did. I think maybe the control stick was not quite straight aligned.
I didn't know it was even on the control stick. All right, fine. You know what? Blame me. That's fine.
All right.
It's easy. It's easy to blame.
I can tell you the typing of this Pokemon, but that would also give it away.
Oof. No, I'm trying to think. Hold on.
I will say this. The typing would give it away. It is a unique typing. At least it was in Gen 3 when Gen 3 came out.
Does Sableye evolve or Mega evolve?
Maybe.
Does Sableye Mega evolve, Joe?
Did you not know about Mega Sableye?
Does Sableye Mega evolve?
Yes, it does.
Is it Sableye?
It is.
I did not know Mega. I didn't know Sableye Mega evolved.
Google Mega Sableye. It's one of the coolest Mega evolutions. The problem is Sableye's trash.
Yeah, Sableye's bad.
It has the unique typing with no weakness.
Oh, it holds the giant gem.
It's the giant gem.
Oh, I apparently forgot about that.
Sableye, I love Sableye, and I love Mega Sableye.
God, I gotta Tony Hawk this nonsense.
And it's just unfortunate that Mega Sableye is hot garbage.
I mean, it has a neat typing.
It does, but then they introduce Fairy, which makes the typing like not that good. So regular Sableye gets either Keen Eye, Stall, or Prankster.
Yeah.
Which Keen Eye is no accuracy lowering. Stall is you always move last. Prankster is status moves get priority. Mega Sableye gets Magic Bounce, which is status moves get reflected to the user. Which is really useful in certain situations, like in competitive, you would use it to like stealth rocks would get reflected to your end, would get reflected back or whatever. But it's not an amazing ability, and it doesn't make up for the fact that the Pokemon's not that good, and it definitely doesn't make up for the fact that the Pokemon is weak to Fairy. Back when it didn't have a weakness, it was pretty good. But now that when they introduced Megas. Hey, you found the spinny thing. Do your squats. But yeah, once they introduced Fairy type Sableye, inherently just became not very good. So, I love Mega Sableye. It's just a damn shame that it's not great.
Is this the boss?
You're getting close to the boss. I don't know if you're there yet.
I think this is actually probably a pretty good time to stop because I'm gonna have to start from the start of the dungeon.
Where are you right now?
I'm just
on the map.
I'm in a straight shot. Like if I go out this way, I am in the door to the pub room.
Right. But no, but I mean, if all you have left is the boss.
I don't think I do. I think I have to go.
Look at the map briefly.
I have to go up that tower. Oh, you know what? It might just be the boss.
I think you just go to the boss.
Okay.
I don't think it'll probably take you to like 10:10. A little past 10.
Let's go.
I think you can do it. Let's do it.
I think we can probably do it. I could 10:05.
I believe in you. Also, I wouldn't even force you, but like it's one of the best boss fights.
I'm assuming I have to use the spinner.
You will have to use the spinner.
Oh, I'm gonna have to land in the middle of there probably and spin that up all the way. So I'm gonna guess it's gonna happen.
Yes. And I will. You know what? I will save the Pokemon trivia for next time because we only did 3 questions.
There's some interesting stuff in there though, actually.
There is. I went into the worst Mega Pokemon. I thought it was gonna be Audino. I thought it was Mega Audino.
Yeah.
Because like what the heck is Mega Audino? But no.
Well, yeah. What does Audino do?
Mega Audino actually has like okay stats.
Wow, that's actually kind of impressive to be honest.
Mawile and Sableye Mega have 480. Mega Audino has 545.
545?
Yeah, it's not
that's
like
absurd.
Amazing. It's not amazing, but like it's pretty good.
For an Audino?
Yeah.
For a Pokemon that does nothing. The Pokemon does nothing. It's a useless Pokemon. I'm sorry it's your favorite Pokemon, but Audino sucks.
Brings it up to similar stats to base Lucario. It's base stats. Mega Audino is a little better than regular Lucario.
Oh, this is a bone dragon.
Yes, it is a bone dragon.
This is gonna suck.
Let's go meet the bone dragon.
I don't want to.
Let's do it. Let's do it to it.
They're using that. Oh, hey, it's Zant. He uses the Ganon laugh. It's Ganon. He used the Ganon laugh.
Oh, I should mention. I've mentioned the podcast I like before.
You sound exactly like Ganon.
SciShow Tangents. This week's episode was really good. You should listen to it. I will probably bug you about it tomorrow. Well, maybe. I'm not going to be online tomorrow, unfortunately.
Are you not?
I have to do a site walk, and it's going to take several hours in the middle of the day. So I'm probably just going to play video games for like an hour in the morning before I go to the office.
Gotcha.
And then I have to go walk around job sites.
That sounds terrible.
It'll be fine. It's low pressure, because we're just going to be walking around all day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That do be a bone dragon. Oh boy. How do I kill you?
I wonder if you have to use the spinner.
I wonder. Do I have to spin up your body? Star-Lord.
Oh, this is Star-Lord. Oh, what's the other boss then?
Oh, I shoot
What's
you.
the mini boss's name then?
Alright, I shot you, it didn't do anything. Oh lord. Oh lord.
But
No, come here. Come here. No, come here. Come here. Come here. Give me your foot.
what is the mini boss? Oh, the mini boss is just called Death Sword.
Death Sword is its name?
Death Sword, yeah, that's the name of the enemy.
Ow. Here we go. Nope, okay. Apparently that's not the way to do this. I think I'm gonna have to wait a second to do that, probably. Oh, you have a gross breath. I have to figure out how to get to you. Alright, let's go. No. Do this. Jump off. Attack it. Figured it out. I
Yeah,
killed its.
yeah.
I killed its vertebrae.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's go.
Dragons are well known for having bad breath. Okay.
All
Alright.
Nope, that's not working. I have to hit specifically its vertebrae. Let's go. Here we go.
Interesting that you say vertebrae. I say vertebra and vertebrae for plural.
I mean, I am hitting the spinal cord.
You are. Yeah.
And I'm breaking 2 vertebra at once.
True. I guess that's true. That's true.
Oh, hey, look, bumpers. Those guys are dicks. Can I kill them? I can't kill them.
If you bump into them, they go away. Those are called stealth troops.
Oh, God. Don't shoot your bone breath at me. Nobody wants to smell boner breath.
Hey, speak for yourself.
Look, man. Oh, we're going in. Oh, damn it. Alright, we're going around again. Going in.
Oh.
Missed again. Alright. Oh, that hurt a little. This boss is wicked.
Isn't it so cool?
This is very cool.
It's just so active and fun. You're moving so fast.
Rolling around at the speed of sound. It's fine. It's fine. Bone dragons. Alright, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go! That's not what I wanted to do, but it's fine. Let's go. Oh. Okay, that's good. Get back up. Go! Oh, I missed him. I missed it. We're going in the back. Nope. Nope. We're not going that way. Okay, we're going this way. We'll come through. I missed. We're going. Bob and weave.
Oh, you almost. Oh my god.
I almost hit it. It's fine. I'm trying.
Zelda pinball.
That's what we're playing. You heard of Pokemon pinball? This is Zelda pinball. Ow, that hurt a little. There's probably still a whole other phase to this.
Are you a boss with multiple phases? What are you on about?
Not in my, not in this economy.
It's just this for 30 minutes.
That would be pretty funny, to be honest. All right. Okay. Nope, I missed. I went right in front of him.
Oh my gosh.
Got it. All right, now I have to fight its head. No, it's just gonna die. It's just gonna die.
God, the spinner is just sick.
All right, phase 2.
Phase 2? I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna fight that head. There's no way. Fight me. Alright, fine. Yeah, alright, there's no heart piece. It's phase 2.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Shut up, Joe. I do like this mechanic, though, where I put this in here and then I spin around like a goofball. Oh, hey, look! It's a spiral with a thing in it. Huh.
I love the spinny gear thing.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Wonder what would happen if I turned around and it was floating there. You douche.
What do you...
Am I chasing this thing? Come here. Come here. I'm gonna get you.
Hell yeah!
Oh, I drew my sword. Whoops.
So climactic.
That was pretty cool, to be honest. Oh, it only has me this one way. Okay. I'm just not gonna touch anything. I'm gonna have to jump, maybe.
Maybe.
Eventually. I don't know when. I'm sure as hell gonna learn. Well, hello.
I mean, he's not seen this before, Michael. Of course he doesn't know what he's doing.
What? Oh, that hurt a lot. That hurt my pride.
Oof.
Nope. I have to wait till I'm higher up. Spinning around at the speed of sound.
Ugh. I should tell my husband what you're doing, because I think this is his favorite boss fight.
I mean, this is neat. Getting a little dizzy. That's pretty cool. No! I was supposed to jump into his face. I didn't expect that. I have to jump into his stupid skull. God dang it.
It's fun. It's hard. It's a hard fight. It's a hard fight for sure.
We got 2 minutes. We can do it.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that one, Chief.
I said 10-10.
Whee! Whee!
Why did?
Whee!
Why did?
Whee! Whee!
Hey!
That had to hurt a lot. We're going. Uh-oh.
Hey.
Uh-oh. Why would you do this, video game? Oh, this is gonna get annoying. Ah! Ah! How do I get farther up?
Yeah, the side ones don't take you up and down.
Owie. They do not.
Only the center pillar takes you up.
I know this. Alright, let's go. We can do this. 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 Get up to a decent height. Run away. Then go back. Run away. Do I have to get ahead of that piece? Is that what I have to do? Go back. Go away. Go away. Oh! You stupid idiot. You stupid dummy boy. Alright, we're fine. We're fine. We're gonna be fine. Gonna go back up. Gotta get back over. Get back over. So we can go back up. Alright. I have to ride that as long as possible.
Yes, you do. Ugh.
This is hard.
Yeah.
Not like, I mean, I guess just like the timing of everything has to be so right.
If you definitely, like, you can get screwed by the cycles of just the fight itself.
Yes. Okay, we're much higher up now.
Yes.
Come here, fool. I'm gonna murder you. Got him.
2 cycle?
Yep.
Wow. Good job.
I jump attacked him the entire first one.
I did. I saw that. Can't believe you got that in a 2 cycle.
That was fun. That was a very fun, mechanically fun boss.
It's just so weird and different.
Is that my sword now? No, damn.
Nothing like any other... I would argue that's unique from every other Zelda boss fight.
I mean, that's unique for a lot of games, just in general.
Yeah.
I mean, I know of some games where it's like, you have to do, like, this, like, surf mechanic. That is a thing, but...
So, I would say, grab your heart container, walk out the door, and you will technically enter a new area, which I believe will count as its own area that you can spawn in, so you should be able to come
Oh, we're
back
getting to save
it.
right here, so this is a good time to just stop.
Yeah, okay, perfect. I couldn't remember if you got this here, because you're about to watch a bunch of cutscenes, and I was like, that'd be a great place to start next time, and I didn't know if you would get the opportunity to save and respawn in here, and I think you do.
This is a great spot to save and be done for the night.
I told you could beat this boss.
That was good. That was fun. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Thanks, Lark, for the raid. Please, if you already know of her, great. But if not, Larkabark on Twitch. She's wonderful. She does emotes. She does Persona Gaming. She's doing a raid.
She just finished Persona 4, which was like a very long project. So, like, I'm proud of her for doing that.
She's doing Final Fantasy 16. Final Fantasy 16. Wow. She's ahead. She's a time traveler. Final Fantasy 14 raid progression stuff is what she's doing right now. So it's very, very cool. So go follow her. And for YouTube guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Please like the video, subscribe for more. We do this every week, every Thursday. Join us on Twitch. We're fun. We have Michael. He's okay. We have Joel. He's here.
You mentioned him, but he's not even on the show.
I know, but he's in the chat, so it's fine.
Oh my gosh, why would you do that to me?
But I mentioned you. I said we have a Joe.
You mentioned me. I'm on screen.
It's true. It's true. But so is he. See, he's right there. Michael, 548. 458. I said 548. I'm stupid. Anyway, thanks, guys. Bye!
Bye.